Good evening and welcome to the campus of Mercyhurst University and Saxon Stadium, where tonight the NPSL presents Cleveland SC and your Erie Commodores. Hello everyone, I'm John Leidick alongside Jack Quinn. And Jack, a celebration to be had on Wednesday, but still maybe some tuning up here to do tonight as the Erie Commodores are the champions of the Great Lakes Conference.
Well, we knew we'd be on the video board, didn't know we'd be over the public address, so an added bonus, all these lovely fans here get to hear the dulcet tones of John Leidick and Jack Quinn. You're absolutely right, it's been a phenomenal season. I've been doing their games since 2013. This is the best club easily. They've won division titles. They've made the playoffs. They've hosted playoff games. To me, this is the best team I've ever seen. And we got some new faces tonight, and you're going to rest some guys because, as you said, they have already clinched, but you want to keep that momentum.
Yeah, you want to keep that momentum. They're number one, of course, by winning the conference. They're number 3 overall in the NPSL. We'll get to some other stats that they have dominated coming up later in the year. But the big and important part of that, by winning the conference, Jack, the road through the Great Lakes Conference will be right here at Saxon Stadium.
Comes here, they get a home game, and they'll get 2 home games if they take care of business. And it's very exciting because we talked about that from that first friendly. The goal was not just to make the playoffs as they did last year, but to own the regular season and have that home field right here at Mercyhurst, and that's exactly what they've done. Now, it's a delicate balance. You can ask the United States men team about this the other night. You've wrapped everything up. There's nothing necessarily to clinch. So the goal is to not get hurt, number one, and also to stay sharp. And they're going to try to do that tonight against a very good Cleveland SC ball club.
A Cleveland SC ball club that comes in looking to turn the tide here after a couple of slip-ups. Let's take a look at their starting lineup coming into tonight. And it starts at the back end as Alex Normando will get the start here tonight. His 7th appearance on the season. He'll get his 6th start of the year.
Yeah, and then you go the defenders, Rodrigo Bandera, Noah Sandal, Abdu Faye, number 9, Oliver Spinks, Joel Jurkovic, number 15, and Davide Carmignani. The defenders, the midfielders, Jack Jenkins, Georgios Pedusis, Brent Nanchoff, number 3, and Hakeem Masaba, the forward. So this is a Cleveland team. Now, we mentioned that Erie's wrapped everything up. Cleveland, though, there's still positioning to be had because you get that 2 seed, you get that first-round home playoff game. So everything for Cleveland is on the table, as it were.
Yeah, the picture has become clear in terms of the 4 teams that will likely be representing the Great Lakes Conference as they push towards the NPSL playoffs. However, the order of that, beyond the Erie Commodores as the winners of the Great Lakes Conference, that's still to be decided 2, 3, 4, and who will match up here on July 8th.
Yeah, Ambassadors are 4 points behind. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yep. Ambassadors are 4 points behind Cleveland, so Cleveland comes in with 7 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. Ambassadors, 6 wins, 0 draws, 3 losses. So it's a 4-point advantage. So critical for Cleveland. Now, it's not a far trip from Baldwin Wallace down to Canton where the Ambassadors play, but you want that game at home in front of your own fans. So critical for the Ambassadors. The question is, it means something for them. It doesn't mean anything for Erie in terms of the results. How will Erie match that intensity?
We'll see how it all plays out, and a lineup, as you mentioned tonight, that will look a tad different with some new faces coming in. Let's take a look at that as Aymar Aramendia will start things off in net for the Commodores. We've seen him a couple of times this season. He'll take over for Alan Horrocks, who we last saw here 2 weeks ago.
What a weapon for this Commodores team to have not 1 but 2 outstanding keepers that have the trust and the reliability that you would need. I mean, a lot of teams struggle with that in one sense. Erie has 2 of them, and I think it certainly helps when you talk about the defenders that they've had. Again, we're going to see some new faces starting on defense today, but a solid rock in net.
Yeah,
along with the cameras we're going to have in net.
Yeah, we're going to show you some new tools that our Frank Media would have as well. Meanwhile, we want to talk about on the defense corps, Aymar Aramendia, too. He's pretty confident in his Spaniards of taking home that World Cup. We'll get into that later on in the match.
Well, he's incorrect in that confidence because it's going to be the United States.
All right, we'll run through the rest of the lineup quickly here. Jack Emanuel, Batista Cordy, as well as Kaj Schroeder, as we will have more on this starting lineup as we go through the match. Coming up here on the Erie Commodores pregame show, we'll take you to the Erie Commodores official podcast. That's Off the Pitch, talking about the love of the game and the success that this group has endured this season, as well as what they give back to in the community. That's all coming up on the Erie Commodores pregame show presented by LECOM.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
LECOM is among the nation's largest and most applied to medical schools. We expand the boundaries of medical knowledge, challenging our students and preparing them to realize their potential. With 4 campuses nationwide and over 17,000 alumni, you can become part of the next generation of LECOM graduates. At LECOM, we make doctors.
Visit Erie. Good life, great lake.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Off the Pitch. John Leidick stepping in here. We get a substitution in the first minute as compared to normally you see it in the 60th, maybe 70th minute. Joined by team owner John Melody, who's usually the host of the podcast, is gracious enough to let me join you here today, John. So pleasure to be on Off the Pitch and look forward to talking about why we play the game of soccer and the great season so far through 8 matches.
Yeah, well, thanks for doing this. You know, usually I get to ask the questions. Now I have to answer them. A little bit of a tougher situation, but looking forward to it. Thanks for being here, and you look tremendously dapper, by the way.
I can clean up, and luckily this was the great
Commodores
rotation
colours.
in Commodores colors in the suit rack today, so glad to be here. All right, John, let's talk about it. Obviously, sports can bring so many people together. There's so much excitement when we're talking about sports. But talk about just the love of the game for soccer, why you fell in love with it, and why this team has so many people fall in love with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, it's, you know, I've loved the game. You know, I came to the States on a soccer scholarship 40 years ago this year. You know, I don't know if I was more in love with the game as an 18-year-old coming to the States, or I am as a, 18 plus 40-year-old now. And being an owner of the Commodores and seeing the joy that it brings to people. You know, we've had a great start to this 2026 season. I mean, it's been fantastic. We've, 7 wins and a draw, or 7 wins and a tie in 8 matches, and that's a wonderful start. But to we were at practice this morning together, and we saw a good practice. You see many different nationalities. You see how they all love the game, even though there's a ton of different languages on that field right now, and we have Japanese, we have French, we have German, we have Spanish, we have Colombian, we have
Argentina.
We have Argentina. So Spanish is kind of the overriding language, closely followed by Japanese, French, and English. So, but you see the togetherness and the common goal, and the game speaks louder than any language for me.
And I think that the greatest thing too is watching this year's team, but watching a number of teams that the Commodores have had over the years, is just, it's the sports and soccer is the perfect example of just how people can get along. Because I mean, we talk about these guys, they come here, they have a week to get to know each other, and these guys are having so much fun playing this game right now.
Yeah, no, we played a preseason game against the Riverhounds. They were here for 2 days, and they were thrown right in at the deep end. But it's a great way to do it sometimes, because you can see right away who's a gamer, who it's a sink or swim kind of a moment for a lot of players as well. And put yourself, as we'd say, you got to put your hand up, put yourself in the shop window, make sure the coach sees you and sees what you can do, so he does pick you on game day. So it, but they do, and they've, we lost that game in the preseason game, right, very close to a good. But since then, that game was just a catalyst to where we are now, and we've had a fantastic start to the season. And again, we don't get too far ahead of ourselves, right? We have 4 games to go, and I'm always, as a player, as a coach, as an owner, I'm always more worried about my next game than I am ever about any game that has happened before. So we have a couple of games coming up that are tough games, but I'm looking forward to those because that's why we play.
Can't change the past, but certainly can pave a way forward for the next game.
For sure.
John, that's a great segue too, talking about the start of the season and that. When you take a look back at these 8 games that we've played so far, what have been some of the moments of the season? Obviously, in each season, I think you're going to face adversity, and you face maybe the adversity so far this season and the draw here most recently with Flower City. But what have been the moments of the season that have stuck out for you so far?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say the draw against Flower City is adversity. I mean, a lot of people were disappointed after that game for me, but you're still undefeated. Sometimes you learn more in, if you want to even call that adversity, you're going to learn more. We had a great start. We scored a lot of goals in the first half of the season. Our goal difference is huge, right? I mean, we have a very, very positive goal difference right now heading into the last 4 games, which hopefully will stand to us at the end of the season. But they're learning all the time, right? They're learning and they're growing and they're keen. The positive moment for me was to go away to Cleveland, which is our arch rival. They are tremendously good at home, have been for years, and to go there and win 2-0 and be somewhat convincing in that was a real moment where I went, this team could be pretty good. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, that game was rain delayed. It didn't finish till midnight. Boys didn't get home till 4 o'clock in the morning. We had to turn around and play Flower City a couple of days later. And they're fighting for a playoff spot as well. They won the conference last year. They're a good organization. But for me, to see that Cleveland game was particularly pleasing. Some of the other games, we've won, played extremely well, scored a lot of goals, looked good. But sometimes when the fight starts, are we able to compete? And we passed that test in Cleveland that night for sure.
Erie Commodores, that's why we do it for the love of the game. Right. That's why you do it for the love of Erie. John Melody, John Leidick, this was Off the Pitch. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time, as John will probably be back in the question-asking chair. Was it nice to have the day off for a little bit?
Not really, actually. There was a lot of taxing questions on there, but it's easier to ask the questions than to answer them. But maybe I'll interview you sometime too.
Sounds good. All right. For John Melody, I'm John Leidick. Thanks so much for listening and watching.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
If you know what you want, LECOM will help you achieve it. We are among the nation's largest and most applied-to medical schools, offering programs in medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, and podiatry, with student-centered learning and a nearly 100% residency placement. With 4 campuses nationwide, you can count on LECOM for your future. Become the medical practitioner you know you can be. At LECOM, we make doctors.
We welcome you back to Saxon Stadium here on the campus of Mercyhurst University. John Leidick alongside Jack Quinn, and this Saxon Stadium has been the friendly confines pretty much for this Commodores team this season. Jack, they come into tonight 3-1-0 on the season, outscoring opponents 14-1. They've been pretty good here at home.
Well, the one hiccup was our most recent home game, that tie with Flower City. But Flower City's been resurgent. They're better than their record indicates. And that was a physical game. We talked about it off the year. You never want to tie when you can have a chance to win. But Erie, I think the physicality of that match and the stick-to-itiveness that they showed will help them down the line. Maybe not tonight, but certainly in the postseason.
You mentioned that game. Let's take a look back at a recap of that one, because the Commodores had plenty of chances right here. It's Masaki Tsuji just missing on a high shot off the bar.
Yeah, I think it was deflected slightly and it went north, but a great opportunity. But the Commodores did not have those frequent opportunities that we are used to seeing.
Great handball there by our cameraman Joe as well. Meanwhile, here was another chance. This time it was Julian Tovar, and Silva just misses wide. tied here right in front.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the problem was not that they missed these opportunities, but they were fewer and further between than normal.
And then the first goal came as we started the second half, just a couple of minutes into action. This was a spectacular passing play between the Commodores that ended on the foot of Will Perry.
Yeah, the give and go, as Bill Raftery would say. And it was a beautiful play. The problem was, moments later, Flower City was able to tie it up, and the Commodores were not able to claim the lead. But it was a gorgeous setup right out of the throw. Beautifully done.
And you could tell just the sense of relief when that one went in because of how many chances they had tried to set up in the first half to get that one early. As you mentioned, though, it was about 4 minutes later, and then this was in the 93rd minute as the Commodores trying to get one here right in front and almost had the winner.
Well, and it was a brilliant entry pass and a brilliant shot. It just went tall. Those are the breaks. You're not going to win them all. In hockey, I believe, you're a hockey guy, puck luck.
Yes.
The Commodores did not have any ball luck, shall we say, in this particular match.
Yeah, and credit to Flower City on this one as they certainly, here's a little bit more. But, yeah, Flower City, they did a great job compacting the house there.
Well, and they were fast. That was the fastest team we've seen the Commodores play, at least at home. And this is a very fast Cleveland
team. And this was one just right in front. The keeper coming up, he did a spectacular job.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he was a Venus flytrap with those two hands. But now that we've seen, and Erie has been able to regain their momentum with these road wins, they've already clinched the division. But this will be a great test because it is very likely these two teams will meet again, I was going to say in October, in the postseason in July.
Yeah, don't rush us too quickly.
No.
Yeah, meanwhile, against Flower City this year, they have that 1-1 draw here 2 weeks ago. They also have the 2-1 win at Flower City. But let's talk about the most recent game for these Erie Commodores as they're coming into this one off the clinching of the conference, and that was a 1-0 win against Ambassadors FC out of Ohio. And, boy, that was a tightly contested match. Talking to some of the players, they said that was the best team they've faced so far this year.
It was an absolute nail-biter and a win for the Commodores down in Canton, I guess. I wasn't going to say Akron, right by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was a phenomenal win, and they've now gone to Cleveland twice and won 2 critical games against this team, enduring a 3+ hour rain delay, lightning delay, winning that game, and then an absolute pins and needles win over Ambassadors on the road to set a precedent, say, hey, we don't care if we meet you here, we meet you there, we're going to defeat you. And I think that was huge for them to now, they don't have to worry about it now. They can relax, they can rest some guys, still with great intensity, but they now control their destiny is controlled. They have home field, home court, whatever you want to call it. So I've said October, court, whatever. But what my point is that by winning these critical games on the road, that has allowed them to relax a little bit here at the end of June.
Yeah, they are coming to this one, do the Erie Commodores at 9-1-0, and you mentioned that. How closely contested was that matchup against Ambassadors FC? 88th minute, a penalty kick, and it was Alex Sanchez coming away with the goal and the lone goal in this one. Aymar Aramendia came away with a clean sheet in this one and the shutout on the year. Meanwhile, the Commodores,
it's a good call, by the way, on the PK. Yeah. It's the right call.
They come into this one as they set up the second-best goal differential, plus 29 at 31-2. El Farolito at plus 44 leads the way, and then they are tied. Fewest goals allowed, just 2 this season, Bristol Rhythm AFC.
If it comes down to goal differential between those teams, it's going to be a good thing because it means the Commodores will have gone deeper than they've ever gone in the NPSL playoffs.
All right, we'll have plenty to get to, including some great pregame festivities here. We've got some junior Commodore soccer clubs set to present to you. Grimace is in the house as well. It's going to be a fun night here at Saxon Stadium. For Jack Quinn, I'm John Laddick. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Erie Commodores pregame show. Erie Commodores soccer is coming up next, and it's all presented by LECOM.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Like in medicine, great achievements in sports require hard work, long hours, and determination. The outcome in both is worth the effort. LECOM is among the largest and most applied to medical schools, with 4 campuses nationwide, offering student-centered learning and a nearly 100% residency placement. The Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. We make dreams reality. We make doctors.
Visit Erie. Good life, great lake.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Like in medicine, great achievements in sports require hard work, long hours, and determination. The outcome in both is worth the effort. LECOM is among the largest and most applied to medical schools, with 4 campuses nationwide offering student-centered learning and a nearly 100% residency placement. The Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. We make dreams reality. We make doctors.
Visit Erie. Good life, great lake.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
And we welcome you back to Saxon Stadium for tonight's NPSL action between Cleveland SC and the Erie Commodores. Hello, everyone. I'm John Leidick. Jack Quinn will join me momentarily as we get set for both clubs to come out. They are accompanied tonight by the Erie Junior Commodores U13 girls and the U14 boys. Let's start first with the U13 girls that are coached this season by Colin Peterson and Dan Poe. This team put together what a season they had in the Great Lakes Alliance NPL division. An impressive 13 wins and 2 ties. They outscored opponents. How about this, Mark? 58-9. Their championship run culminating in a 5-0 victory over Bedling to capture the NPL championship, earning an automatic berth to the National Premier League Finals in Denver, Colorado. That will be July 7th through the 11th. Meanwhile, the U14 boys team, coached by Tom Barry and Gino Romeo, they have displayed quite a season as well in their first in the Great Lakes Alliance NPL division, capturing the Tri-State Cup Championship with a 2-1 victory over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Academy. That championship earned them a National Premier League Finals appearance in Denver. That'll be July 17th through the 21st. So a couple impressive crews here for the Junior Commodores.
Ladies and gentlemen, leading tonight's player walkout, please give a
as we'll get set here tonight. And who else but Grimace also here from McDonald's tonight, part of McDonald's of Three Rivers. They have a table set up if you're here at the game for some giveaways. Grimace will lead the player walkout here, a little ball presentation, and then stay tuned for halftime as we've got quite a display as well here tonight as we get set for this matchup between Cleveland SC and the Erie Commodores. You'll see the Commodores in a new Maritime America 250 jerseys, so some new things setting up, and we'll be plenty of filled at halftime as we'll get you set. We will get you set for the big weekend coming up next weekend for the America 250 celebration. We'll talk about everything going on in the city and also the Commodores kicking off the weekend as well. We're going to step aside for the national anthem, and we'll be right back.
Honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, as we get set for this one, we will take you to the field in just a moment. But as we get set here tonight, if you're on your way to the game, an exciting night, as we mentioned, as Grimace will be a part of it as well. And you see those beautiful jerseys down there. If you want to get your hands on it, Erie Apparel is the place to get it. If you want to tonight, though, you can come and purchase one of those jerseys. There's a blue color, as the players are wearing here tonight, or a red version of the Maritime America 250 jerseys. Erie Apparel is on hand. You can get your own number of choice, as they will steam press that on for you to get you set up. So it's all a part of a big week ahead here in the city of Erie and with the Erie Commodores, as the Commodores will also have coming up this week on Monday and Tuesday with the Boys and Girls Club of Erie. They will have at Veterans Stadium on Monday and Tuesday from 9 to noon, 60-plus boys and girls from the Boys and Girls Club, new Americans, teaching them the game of soccer and continuing their efforts to give back to the community as they have all season long and throughout their great history, the oldest NPSL team in the league. So the Erie Commodores, if you are just joining us, I'm John Leidick, coming to this one, champions of the Great Lake Conference, and ensuring that they will host at least one postseason game, and the road to the NPSL Great Lakes Conference Championship will go through Saxon Stadium. That first playoff matchup with an opponent yet to be determined would be July the 8th. If they were to advance, they would play on July 12th at a time and opponent to be determined, of course, for the Great Lakes Conference Championship to advance in further NPSL playoff competition. Coming into this game tonight, the Saxon Stadium has been the friendly confines for these Erie Commodores. They come into this one 3-1-0 with that one draw coming 2 weeks ago to Flowers City 1-1. Their outscoring opponents are the Commodores 14-1 on the year. They started the season with 3 consecutive shutouts against Niagara 18-12, Rochester, New York, FC Academy, and the Buffalo Stallions by the scores of 4-0, 4-0, and 5-0. And the Commodores coming off that conference-clinching victory on Wednesday evening as they took on Ambassadors FC out of Ohio, a 1-0 win in the 88th minute. Alex Sanchez, and as you see there, Grimace presenting the ball to the referees here tonight to get this match underway.
Fans, let's have a round of applause for Grimace.
And Grimace, he's doing the work, putting it in here. But to get back, they had Commodores' 1-0 victory over Ambassadors out of Ohio. Came with a goal in the 88th minute by Alex Sanchez on a penalty kick, as there was the penalty in the box there. And then Aymar Aramendia, who will get the start in night for the Erie Commodores as the keep. He came away with a shutout as well. So quite a performance in that one. And then, of course, the last time these two teams met was that, as Jack has told us a number of times, that long rain delay, 3+ hours, lightning delay, a 2-0 victory for the Commodores, a big road victory as well. Rikido Takuchi, Julian Tovar come away with the goals in that one. Santiago Geraldo got a red card late in that one. Alan Horrocks with the clean sheet. So these two will finish their regular season series. Of course, they could meet again in the postseason with spots 2, 3, and 4 yet to be determined in the Great Lakes Conference.
Well, and you want to set a precedent, and we'll see. I'm just, overcome by seeing Grimace present the ball. We have these awesome special America 250 4th of July uniforms for the Commodores. I mean, they look outstanding. The numbers are legible. Game on. I mean, this is pretty exciting. Once again, we have gorgeous weather, as we found out here in the press box. The wind may be a factor. As you're watching this, it's moving left to right, which is to say off of the lake toward the south, which is why we have such nice warm weather, I suppose. But that wind usually dies down up here when the sun goes down.
And that was your weather report, brought to you by the... I don't want to put a sponsor out there because it's not sponsored, but good job.
Out on the weather deck, the weather terrace, out there on State Street. I don't have the parrot, though. I don't have the puppet, unfortunately.
As the one former meteorologist from Erie. For those that
but
are
again,
unaware.
this is, I mentioned in the intro, this is going to be really interesting because this is a huge game for Cleveland in terms of seeding and in terms of trying to secure a home fixture for the postseason and getting that number 2 seed. So how will Erie, with some new players, how will they match that intensity? We'll see. It's going to be I think these first 5 minutes of this match are going to tell us a lot.
Well, Jack, and as you mentioned, it's going to be an interesting part 2 tonight because we do have some new faces entering the starting lineup here tonight and joining the team because we have some players resting up. Some also getting set to take a little bit of a break. So they are out of the lineup here tonight. So Aymar Aramendia gets the start, but on the back end, Jack Emanuel, the McDowell product and Erie native here, will get the start on the back end as well.
And we've got a great crowd on hand here, maybe the best crowd of the season, and why not on a gorgeous night here in Southeast Erie at Mercyhurst University. Beautiful campus, beautiful night. Game on.
And as we said, it's just a week out from a start of a busy America 250 celebration going on across city of Erie. We'll tell you about some of those details coming up at halftime. Hunter Lytle will join us to talk about all those festivities as well. But up front, you will see Julian Tovar will anchor that up front for this group, but you will also see that it's not the normal faces. Alex Sanchez is there, but a couple of new faces as well, Jack.
Tovar very aggressive there in the back end. Interesting, as clearly Erie here. I mean, the one thing that we've seen up until the Flower City match was Erie consistently coming out early and maybe not scoring a goal, but establishing field position and establishing that they were the better team. They did not do that against Flower City. They did not do that in the 1-0 win that clinched. As you mentioned, it was a late goal. So I think Erie has come out today and they really want to establish themselves early and try to focus as being the better ball club, and sort of a nickel dimer there. We're going to get a free kick.
Rikido Takuchi is up in the forward position, but one of the new faces that you'll see here tonight would be at the midfield position. Ryosuke Mayada from Yokohama, Japan joins this club. And also you have Batista Corti. He was on the coaching staff last year with Dylan Sumner as he checks in on the back end on defense. Kaj Schroeder was here. I think he made his debut in the last home game 2 weeks ago. Some new faces that will be checking in. No Masaki Tsuji is the other striker for this club here tonight. He's not with the club right now, but we'll see how this new lineup works out for Kata Nastuda.
And Baba as well out of Nagasaki, right? He's a new face, at least as the home games are concerned. And we're going to want him back, by the way. I hope, I'm not sure his whereabouts or, these players, they've got to commit so early to colleges. So that would be a crushing blow. But I love the aggression here early from the Commodores.
Yeah, Julian Tovar, he does a great job muscling his way in to edge out defenders to get the ball as Sanchez has it now. He's going to try and play it. Santiago Geraldo over there on the far side tried to corral it, but here comes Cleveland FC as that one just cleared away. Looks like Jacob Anderson might be there on the far side, so he might have got the start there over, excuse me, that's Bautista Corti, the new defender there. As Martin Badalé away from the club, he headed to Duke to join his college club. And then Mathieu Bevon, who I spoke to on our Erie News Now coming up tomorrow on the Sunday Sports Blitz, he is out tonight. So a couple of new faces on the back end.
You're going to have to edit that video, though, or what? Did you know he was going to be out tonight?
He did not give any indication. But he was great.
Very nice guy. I met him at a previous game. Very nice guy.
We talked about his season. The Commodore season was Coach Cadden, the student, too. And then we talked World Cup. The Frenchman, that is, Bevon, was pretty excited. A little back and forth between he and the Spaniards, including Aymar Aramendia, that was there for that taping of that on who they think will win the World Cup.
That was a great ball by Schroeder, dumping it down there, and it's going to result in a throw-in for the Commodores. But I really like the aggression, like I said earlier. I like that they're controlling things, trying to establish themselves with these new guys early, because even though for Erie this game doesn't mean anything, you've got 3-4 guys that have not been out there, not getting normal playing time, so they want to establish themselves and say, hey, I warrant playing time when we get to the postseason.
Santiago Geraldo was the man right there in front, tried to loop it over the keeper, but just could not do so. Alex Normando getting the start tonight for Cleveland SC, his 6th start, 7th appearance so far for Cleveland this season.
Boy, they had Takuchi. They're a little bit late getting into him on the near side. I think if they had gone to him more quickly, are we going to get a foul? I guess we are. But if they had found Takuchi earlier there, they would have had something.
Okay, we'll get set here for this free kick as, beg your pardon, it does appear Masaki Tsuji, from what we were told pregame, he was not going to be unavailable from the lineups we were given, but it appears Masaki Tsuji.
It's a 4th of July miracle.
There's a kick.
Boy, that's a handball. That could have very easily been a handball called there.
That
no whistle, they play on.
Too.
Yeah.
As Rakita Takuchi will play it back to Aramendia.
Now, you can argue that I guess maybe it went off of his shoulder more so, but I don't know.
It's that upper arm, shoulder region.
I mean, and it wasn't intentional, so in retrospect, probably the right move to play on there, but very close. You know, and we saw that when I was watching one of the World Cup games, and I love the replay reviews because there was an opportunity for a PK. I think it was the Congo and Colombia, and the ref said, you know what, we're going to look. They called a PK. They went back and looked at it and said, you know what, we don't want to make an earth-shattering call here. It was the wrong call. We're going to correct it, and I really appreciate that. I know it disrupts the rhythm, but I appreciate that, and I think that was the right call on that back end.
Masaki Tsuji was entangled there that time with a couple of forwards, Abdou Faye and then Hakim Masuba, excuse me. Masuba and Faye both with 4 goals apiece, so they are 2 dangerous forwards for this Cleveland team.
And this really is the Commodores' biggest rival. They've been a long-time rival out of Cleveland, well-coached, well-run. The folks in charge could not have been nicer to us, and now a chance on the far side. See if they can get across.
Yeah, we'll see if they get the cross as Faye coming across. We'll see a little slip there as the Commodores defend there. Carty was the man in front trying to prevent as Tovar comes up top.
Well, that was great defense by the Commodores. He slipped because he didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. That was phenomenal by Erie and great quickness to get back.
Yeah, we'll see how the Commodores deal. Again, we saw with Flower City a little bit of pressure on the offensive side, something that we didn't see through the first 3 home games here, is this one trying to be thrown into the box there at that time and not able to come up with it as that one was thrown in there by Luca Piazza. No relation to Mike Piazza, as
we asked.
Jack Quinn asked. Want to get you all the facts.
Great hitting catcher, of course.
For the New York Mets.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, and played for about 2 weeks for the Florida Marlins. Another one of Dave Dombrowski's brilliant moves. Over to the far side. Looks like we're going to get our first corner of the match.
Yeah, I believe that's setting up over there. That will be Brent Nanchoff, who has 3 goals on the year. he'll get set to take the corner.
And this is where that wind becomes a factor. He's going to have to angle it toward the side of the net. Otherwise, it'll blow clean out to the top of the point.
So he gets this one up here, and that one cleared away. I believe that was Suji that was able to get ahead on that one to clear it away.
That was a great ball, though. I mean, as Bandera was right there, but just a little bit high, and evidently, yeah, you're right. A Commodore, was it Suji, maybe tipped it?
Yeah, he got the last touch on the header there, but we'll get set for a throw-in. That one there cleared away, and a great job. He's with it now.
But credit Cleveland, they adjusted. Erie controlled the field position for the first, 5 minutes of this match, but Cleveland has done a nice job here in the 2.5, 3 minutes gone by.
Gabriel Hernandez-Lace, who's right in the middle of the field, he is another entry into the starting lineup. We haven't seen him much since maybe the first couple of home games of the season. Has a substitution, but he gets a start here tonight for Cata Nastuda. Again, some of the names that are sitting out that have been regulars for this group, either it's to start or been. We saw Santiago Ustamonte sitting tonight. He's available as sub. David Citron, Dylan Sumner, Alvar Silva not in the starting lineup tonight. He's been a staple, and at one point this season was a Player of the Month candidate.
And in that last game, Perry, who had another goal on the road, was phenomenal here at home, had another goal on the road. That one, just nobody there for Cleveland, but Perry has been really coming on over the last 4 or 5 games for this Commodores team. He's going to be a key factor as we get to the postseason.
Yeah, some could say we sparked his success. We talked about all that he had done to make the plays for the Commodores, and then he gets that first goal 2 weeks ago, and
he got another one on the road.
Seems like he's taken off from there. As Tovar with pressure here now. That's on the back end there.
It was
David Carmignani, the Australian.
Was Perry, Tsuki, and Takuchi with the goals on the road. I believe there was an own goal as well in that 4-0 win, which was on the heels prior to that 1-0 win over the Ambassadors. But again, boosting that goal differential, which is now far and clear for the Commodores' favor in the Great Lakes Division, which they have already clinched.
There's a chip there. Just trying to get it on the run. That time they were trying to find Jack Jenkins, the midfielder.
Great name.
Sounds like a baseball name.
Well, Richard Jenkins is, isn't he a baseball writer?
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah. Try to get it through here.
Justice, Richard Justice, I'm sorry. There's nice job. See, I love the aggression. And what are we going to have here? Yeah, nothing doing. That's good refereeing, though. We're going to get
a yellow.
Yeah, they're going to get a yellow on.
That's going to be Faye, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's going to be Abdou Faye.
But I liked what
that's his 5th yellow card, by the way.
I liked what the ref did there, stepping in immediately and not letting it get out of hand. That is good officiating there, whether it's baseball, basketball, it doesn't matter. Great job there to de-escalate, as they say.
De-escalation as the yellow card in the 11th minute for Faye.
And if you're the Commodores, the last thing you need is to get goaded into an incident of some kind that would result in a red card at this point in the season. Even though they've got one more game, this is the last game for Cleveland, so they really have to win this game to have any hope of getting a home playoff game. Erie, of course, with one more game on July 3rd, a 5 p.m. start right here at Mercyhurst.
Yeah, it was Santiago Geraldo who had the red card in the 89th minute the last time these two teams played, so he missed that Flower City game. And
he was tired of the rain. He was just fed up with all the rain.
After 3 hours, he said,
3 hours in the locker room and then the match. But really, it did take incredible courage from Erie. Yet you're sitting there for 3 hours, and I think it was 14 minutes, and then to come out and score 2 goals in what was at the time the biggest game of the year. Easily the biggest win of the season for the Commodores.
That one deflected back towards the keep.
Oh, one time like that off the bounce. That was really well done by Normando.
As that's taken now, Emmanuel gets it back to Aramendia, who just clears it away, and we'll go back and forth. Game of ping pong.
You know, it's interesting, too, in watching the World Cup. I've noticed very much, we almost had a mishap back there, and we still may have one. that you don't see a lot of punting from the World Cup keepers. We almost never see it in this league. Nice give and go.
Santiago Geraldo with it to Gabriel Slace. A shot still loose, and they're just passing that one clear, but Suji with it now and another chance to send it in.
Great cross by Hernandez, just nobody home, but that was well done.
Commodores regroup and resettle as Hernandez with it.
Nope.
Gets it to Geraldo, trying to capitalize,
Nice pass.
tries to get it to Tovar. Does he have a look here? He's looking for Geraldo on the backside, but a great job by the keep. That one off. Close to a handball there, but a great job using his chest was the Cleveland defender. He's going to try and keep it in now as I'm trying to see who that was.
Well, Tovar had it forever, and nobody ran to the net. He was waiting for somebody to make a beeline toward the far back end of the net, and nobody did, so he sort of had to play with the ball.
So a chance just missed by the Erie Commodores.
I think that's one they would like to have back.
As here comes Cleveland. Want to commend there that time, as that one was Jenkins that made the play there to get in front of the shot. So play it back now. Cleveland regrouping here in the midfield.
That was Spinks. I'll tell you what, this is a big team physically, Cleveland. I mean, you've got
especially on the back end.
Yeah,
here.
big, thick guys. They look like tight ends more so than soccer players.
I could imagine as Carmen Yanni here on the back. He has the hair drawn up. He looks like he could play rugby for Australia.
Well, the Browns could use a defensive end. They play not terribly far away from Berea. Actually, they play in Berea in Baldwin Mullins.
This one batted around here.
Actually, they could use a quarterback. They could use a running. They could use essentially every single position, offensive line.
You're really down on that club. I think they could be this year's New Orleans Saints. Be a feisty little group.
Yeah, feisty and win 6 games. Great.
Well, I didn't say a playoff team.
I've been a fan my whole life. I've dealt with this my whole life. Believe me, there's no joy that comes from being a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah, Jimmy has his sights on maybe an Arch Manning next year, and then
I want C.J. Carr. Whatever the wrong choice is, whichever the wrong choice is, he'll do it. Thank God the NFL took drafting Sorsby out of his hands, because I'm sure he would have done that.
It's shocking you would say that C.J. Carr would be your selection. That's going to be Sanchez called.
Are they going to call it? Was that a foul or a handball?
No, he got, I think, a head safety or something like that, because he got his foot pretty high up there close to the.
Now, you can hear that wind, and that wind is strong. So on those, that's probably why they didn't attempt a deeper free kick there.
Well, it keeps moving. Right now it's blowing north-south across the field. But at the start of the match, when you saw that first goal kick, it was kind of coming across from, what would that be, the east-west direction.
So it's really the first time this year that wind has been any kind of a factor. We should point out, they call Mercyhurst up on the hill. It is traditionally a very windy stadium here. We're sort of at an elevated campus position. But so far this year, I mean, we've just been blessed with phenomenal weather once again throughout the season.
The start times have probably aided
with the
to
evening,
that,
yes,
too.
exactly.
As you have that nice breeze set in, not the hot sun. It wasn't too bad today. Early morning, it was pretty warm as I was making my way around to a couple of different items on the sports side of things for the TV station. But overall, it was a pretty beautiful day.
So it's an interesting point, because that last home game is a 5 p.m. start on Friday, July 3rd. So it'll be interesting to see if indeed it's a little bit windier on that day.
Yeah, we'll see. That'll start off the America 250 celebrations, and it can be the start of your night, right? A lot of people have that July 3rd holiday off. You come here, get your tickets at eriecommodores.com. You can come here 5 o'clock, probably over by 7, and then you can go and get ready for your nightcap.
And the nice thing is, you don't even have to go to New York State or Ohio to buy the real fireworks anymore. You can buy them right here in Erie.
That's a big, big thing for you, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
And so far, I still have 10 fingers and 10 toes. Hopefully that'll be the case on July 5th this year. Jason Pierre-Paul, not as fortunate some years ago for the New York Giants, as you may recall.
Yes. There's been a lot of incidents
But I want to reiterate, too, to the fans, Erie Apparel, you can buy these jerseys. These are the nicest jerseys that I think the Commodores have ever worn. They've got the blue, the yellow. Last year they wore the purple to help benefit Alzheimer's research. I think these are, in terms of just the aesthetic, the nicest ones they've ever worn.
Well, the beautiful part is there's a takedown
that's a
there.
Takedown. That should be a penalty
Tovar.
kick. How was that not a foul? There was no argument, though. I'll give Tovar credit. He did not argue with that. Looked to me like he got taken down.
Looks like a defensive back and a receiver fighting for a jump ball, but nothing called there. You mentioned that they're wearing the blues tonight. There's also a red version of
right,
this
which
jersey
we may see at some point.
Yes, they could have that one maybe for next Friday. And
you can't tell from the view here, but they have little nods to Erie and the War of 1812, a silhouette of the Niagara and the dock and everything. They're
Oliver Hazard Perry's
really
on there.
well done kits for the Commodores. Yes, Oliver Hazard Perry, indeed.
Yes, so Erie Apparel, the place to get those. But if you're on your way here tonight, you can get your customized number on there as well. They have the heat press here, so you can get that all set up if you want to have your own selection and no number on the back. So we'll play on here as we are in the 18th minute of a scoreless game between Cleveland and the Erie Commodores. The first matchup, the first goal did not come until the 42nd minute. That's when Rikido Takuchi, and then the second goal in the 64th, Julian Tovares. This is a long stretch pass here, trying to get it ahead. Abdou Faye has it now, trying to get angle on Takuchi. As this one thrown the other way. Good job there by Schroeder to get ahead on that and kind of disrupt that cross play.
Piazza did a nice job, too, to keep it in, and now it is he with the ball. We'll see if he can get something to the center. Nope, deflected away.
Here come the Commodores. Tovar with it now, going to try and spring free Geraldo, who cuts back and will try to reverse field, but maybe he tries to get rid of it. He's taken down, and yeah, that'll be a free kick for the Commodores on the infraction.
So now, John, what was the difference between that infraction and the one that happened in the box moments ago? To me, they were very similar.
I think there was more contact in the box than there was there. That was more of an, as you see sometimes defensive back receivers go back to American football, the incidental feet contact that will take somebody down. That seemed more of
the
like
worst
that.
rule, though, in there with pass interference is when the quarterback throws it deep down the sideline and it's underthrown. So it's a bad throw. The receiver comes back, initiates contact, and somehow that's defensive pass interference. That rule needs to change, and I thought that one near the box. Now, again, I understand. The refs are going to be very reluctant to call for a PK, especially early in the match.
Here's now.
Oh, nice move.
Move inside. Faye with it, and the header, it just misses wide. Armendariz slams into the post. But, boy, what a great opportunity there. As that time it was Hakeem Musaba trying to set up. He has an assist on the year for Faye, and they nearly connected there, just the header going left.
Just a brilliant cross, my Basaba. And as you mentioned, Faye was right there, a slightly different angle, and that's a goal. They did everything right except put it in the back of the net.
Something to keep in mind. Again, two new defenders on the back end here for Kata Nastuda and Emmanuel, who's no stranger to playing for the Commodores, and also Carty, who's back there as well, both in for Baudelaire and Bevon. Tovar, Carmen Yanni and him are going to have a battle all night.
Yeah, Tovar tried to box out there, then he went down and looks like he may have scraped his thigh on the field turf, but seems to be in one piece.
So this one bounces around near midfield. Geraldo will go over to try and take it away there that time in the area of Musaba.
Now, Takuchi set all this up. If they end up going down and getting a goal, it was his header that went to the other way that really set up this possession, but it looks like it's going to be for naught.
21st minute here is a long pass there. Piazza battling there with Rikido Takuchi.
Takuchi just with him step for step. I mean, that's phenomenal. Phenomenal defense by Takuchi.
Waits for help and gets it from Masaki Tsuji, but it'll be a throw-in nonetheless. Spinks will come in to have the throw-in for Cleveland.
I mean, he had no chance. Once Takuchi got near him, there was nowhere to run, nowhere to go, as Bruce Springsteen would sing.
Folks, if you have not listened to an Erie Commodores broadcast, the stretch and pull of Jack Quinn here is unmatched. I'd love to see you do college football for like ESPN. Just drop these little
I did do
nuggets.
it for Gannon for a while.
Well, I mean, yeah.
They weren't very good. Yes, it would be fun.
Join like Kirk Herbstreit and all those guys. I think you'd be entertaining.
I'm not a big McAfee fan, though. Yeah, I think I'd rather have like Spurrier in there.
I'm not shocked by that.
I'd rather have Steve Spurrier in there. I did like McAfee years ago when he was on Bob and Tom, and then he has become, as they say in the South, too big for his britches.
Tovar was trying to get a run there. Geraldo was looking for him, but that one a little short on the passing.
And again, I credit Cleveland because once again, Erie had a brilliant chance. Cleveland has responded here in the last couple of minutes. Cross there, nobody home. But it's been a pretty well-played match so far. We've had just the one card, not many fouls.
It has been a back-and-forth matchup, and again, a potential playoff preview. These two likely would not meet in the opening round on July 8th at Saxon Stadium, but could be a potential preview of a championship matchup if both teams were to advance to that July 12th game.
Yeah, it looks like it will be Erie and Flower City in that first round. Nothing's set in stone, but that's a Flower City team that came here and played Erie to a deserved draw. It was not a fluke. And again, it's possible that Cleveland could lose. If they lose here, they could fall behind the Ambassadors, but not likely.
What a patch by Hernandez, and then Takuchi tried to feed it across to Sanchez, but better time that plays for Jenkins, who comes away with a steal and feeds Cleveland ahead. Musaba has been very efficient as he gets around two Commodores defenders, feeds it into the box. A little contact there that time with Carty and Emmanuel.
Now, if you're Musaba there, that was a brilliant move and great speed, but I think you maybe want to try to get a corner because he had nobody in the middle. Maybe you try to blast it off of an Erie player and get a corner out of it.
See if Tovar gets this one. No offside. At that time, Normando just has to come out and play it, clear it away to midfield. Ooh, referee almost comes in with contact there. Faye comes back to the midfield. Spinks with it out. So he'll just throw it in there. Nobody on a run to pressure Armandia. Yeah, it was interesting the other day. Armandia and Bavon a little back and forth about the World Cup and the history between Spain and France. It has gone to the way of Spain on a number of occasions.
Well, France is nearer to Monaco, so I'll take France. No taxes there. All that revenue from gambling. It's one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Piazza wants it.
When somebody points at you, a tour guide, and says Elton John lives there, you know it's a pretty well-to-do place, okay?
Yeah, I would imagine so. You felt the love that night?
Yes, I went on, clubbing and tried to find a tiny dancer.
Yeah, Tovar.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Yeah, good call. Great call. Yep.
So I thought maybe they'd give it to him. About a half-second delay as Carmignani was coming, but Normando came out to challenge. But nonetheless, it's all for naught.
Well, and you've got to think the Commodores feeling that Saturday night is all right for fighting.
Oh, man, how many songs can we work?
Very impressed over there on the far side
Musaba.
With Musaba. He really, not only quickness, but his ability to get through multiple defenders. That's the third or fourth time he's been able to get all the way down with very little help.
Yeah, and he recovers too. He is relentless with his pressure, both bringing it in, and then if he loses the ball, he's right on the closest Commodore to try and get it back.
And if this wind keeps up, which it usually doesn't, but if it does keep up, Cleveland, who's played Erie pretty close to 50-50 here, is going to have a nice advantage in the second half. But again, when that sun sets, usually that wind goes down up here on the hill in Mercyhurst.
I thought you were going to say sun goes down to
to
Kenny Chesney and Uncle Cracker.
Well, no, but don't let the sun go down. I mean,
well, there's another It's that time coming out, Carty coming out to play, or Emmanuel, beg your pardon, comes out, just trying to chip it out right now are the Commodores. Suji with it. This one bouncing around. Jenkins will come back to corral it. Try and reset into the attacking third. Piazza has it, feeds it back, and a nice little chip. As Spinks plays it towards the net, Schroeder will just try and clear away.
That was a nice dump in by Nanchoff on that chip that you mentioned, nothing doing. But if I'm Cleveland, they've made some nice adjustments. Keep at it. And I would go over to the far side, to be honest, to Musaba.
As Sanchez tries to corral this one. As we reach the near midway point of this opening half. Again, don't go anywhere at halftime, because it'll be a jam-packed one. We'll talk with Hunter Lytle of the city of Erie, all about the America 250 celebrations, what you can expect for next weekend, and of course everything going on July 3rd. Starting things off here with the Erie Commodores, the Maritime jerseys, and their big celebration, which will include a flyover coming up next weekend. It's going to be an exciting time as the Commodores will have a number of things set up for the pregame for next week. That'll be the Flying Legends of Victory that will have a pregame flyover ceremony here at Saxon Stadium. So this will be the place to be. Again, you can get those tickets at eriecommodores.com. We'll also have Grimace. He's setting up a shootout challenge here at halftime at Saxon Stadium, so we'll carry that for you. Bring you a play-by-play. So jam-packed halftime show is a good feed here. As this one now, Musaba, but Aramendia coming out with one arm, his right arm able to get out there and a bit of his shoulder to stop Musaba, who was fed there by Faye. And they almost had an opening goal for a second time here, and the best chance we've seen so far for either club.
It absolutely was, and I'll tell you, over the last 5 minutes or so, Erie is being outplayed. Credit Cleveland, and Erie a little bit on the defensive. It reminds me more so of the Flower City game, and now perhaps another chance for Cleveland. Spinks with it.
Faye couldn't corral it originally, then gets an arm around, and he'll be called for that. As Tayo Baba was
that
the man.
a foul or offside? I didn't see much contact there.
Didn't see the flag.
I didn't think he was offside. I didn't really see much of anything there, to be honest.
I did not see the far referees.
I didn't, but
signify.
And now we've got a Commodore player. Looks like he's got blood, I think, is the indication for Erie. Sanchez, they're going to need to
substitute.
Well, or just get him band-aided up, and perhaps in honor of the World Cup. Are we going to get a hydration break? And actually, it looks like a Cleveland player actually is the one with the blood, so they'll get that straightened out.
So come off, I believe that is that Musaba that came off here? Yes. So he'll be off temporarily. As Suji with it now to try and get something going for the Commodores as Spinks takes him down with a little pull, but they play on.
Yeah, that's the second time down this way that it looked like there was a rather blatant foul, and Suki sort of put his arms up as if to say, what was that, but did not get the benefit of the whistle.
Play on, they say. Schroeder with the header there that time. Piazza trying to get things going. They play a little ping pong back and forth on the headers before things are settled down. Spinks feeds it away, and here goes Cleveland on another attempt as they reset. Commodores trying to find something here. They have not been in the attacking third here for at least a solid 5 to 8 minutes.
No, other than that one opportunity when Erie had sort of the spacing issues and sort of dilly-dallying around in front, they have had really no other scoring issues. And to your point, for the last almost now 10 minutes, Cleveland has been in control.
A reminder, a couple of regulars not in the lineup here tonight. Of course, the strikers and the forward and Tovar are in there, but no Alvar Silva out tonight. This one fed ahead is Aramendia. He has been aggressive tonight.
I think that's the furthest I've seen him out all year. I love that aggression, and you've got to go. When you make that decision, you've got to go all in, and he did just that. That was a great play, and he may well have saved the goal.
He knew the pressure coming from the backside, and he went for it. So Aramendia, he has been on his toes early in this one. This is much of what we saw from opposing keepers against the pressure of the Commodores throughout those first few matches, Jack, but he's been up to the task here tonight.
Well, and it also shows great trust in your defenders, as we saw with that goal that the United States suffered against Turkey in the final seconds. You have to trust that when you come out, your defenders know to rotate and that they will be there to do the best they can if that ball comes toward them to try to stop it. Unfortunately, it didn't work for the United States, but it was a moot game.
Hernandez will pass it on to Schroeder. They'll try to reverse it back. Again, the Commodores have had a couple of chances to get on a run, and then they just kind of...
You know, their spacing's been good. I haven't seen any issue with that, like against Flower City, and he's offside. That's the right call there. But the spacing's been fine. It just seems like when they get into the second third of the field, they're just not able to proceed, and credit Cleveland defensively.
So we will play on here.
And Cleveland, we want to give them credit. They brought some fans. First time we've seen some visiting fans. They've got their flags out, so No doubt they didn't want to go see the Guardians play, so why not come here?
Jack and his sports teams going through trying times right now as Suji just falls to the ground. He was leaning on the defender.
They are irate, and now I think they're going to get him with a yellow for arguing. I got to be honest, I didn't think, in my opinion, that warranted a penalty kick. It did not look that big. I would also not have carded him, but we don't know what he said. And I assume that referee speaks Japanese.
Yeah, it was more he was leaning on the defender, and then when the defender kind of gave way to that.
I think it was more anger that they didn't call it earlier in the match when it probably was warranted. But that's tough. I think that's probably a foul outside of the box, but I don't know.
Yeah. Each team now with a yellow card is Valle and then Suji on a side. Valle, that was his 5th of the year.
It does result in a corner.
So, glass half full, yeah. Sanchez having a discussion here with the official.
But you plant the seed, just like in basketball. You keep complaining they're not calling a foul. Eventually they'll call a foul, so you never know.
John Calipari style, you're saying?
Yeah. Mike Krzyzewski was more in mine.
Blue Devils on your mind today, huh? Suji will go short to Sanchez here. Draw the defenders and just flips it up.
Boy, that was a nice chip.
As that one. Oh, what a goal!
Oh,
what a
doctor!
goal by Julian Tovar. There was 2 of them there. I think Emmanuel was the other one in the territory, but it's Julian Tovar. That is the goal of the year so far for the Erie Commodores.
That's the goal of his lifetime. You will not see a better goal than that on the bicycle kick.
Wow, and how about that goal? All started by the great play there that time of Alex Sanchez as the Commodores go on. So that'll go in the 34th minute. And for Tovar on the season, his team leading 8th, but the best of his 8 scored this year, and that brought the faithful here at Saxon Stadium to their feet. What a goal for Tovar. So we will get restarted here. Want to thank everyone for watching on the Erie Commodores YouTube page or on Erie News Now Plus, as our Frank Media and all the great crew here that puts this one on. The great equipment and the great angles and looks that they get you. Rob and his crew are second to none in the production that they've been able to provide to all the Commodores fans and those of you watching around the country and around the world. As that's going to be Hernandez called for the infraction. That'll set up a free kick as he brought down Spinks. But a lot of great stuff. Also want to thank tonight's match sponsor, Marquette Savings Banks, and then Lecom, the official sponsor and title sponsor of Erie Commodores all season long. So a 1-0 lead for the Erie Commodores. Jack, I don't know, I've seen you that excited since probably Rajay Davis hit that home run in the
that was short. That was short. You were there. I saw you right after.
No, that was Gary Drapshaw was there for that one.
Oh, it was Smiley then that I ran into. But I got to tell you this. This is anecdotal. I've been doing Commodores games I think since 2014. I think that was my first year. That's the best goal I've ever seen. I mean, to see 2 guys going for the bicycle kicks and for Tovar to connect, I think that is the best goal I have seen. Again, I'd have to go back and look. It's been over 10 years. But that you will not see. You can watch the World Cup all the way to the final match I think it's in Los Angeles. You will not see a better goal than that. That was extraordinary on the cross and then the connection by Tovar.
Well, I think it was just beautiful. All started with instead of going for the goal, they go short, Sanchez, and then a great touch to flip it over. And I can't remember who was on the backside of there to just pop it up in the air. And then that set up the beautiful bicycle kick. It would have been interesting. What if they made double connection there?
Well, if they had made double connection, it wouldn't have gone in the net, so it's a good thing it didn't happen. But you see people attempt bicycle kicks from time to time, and it almost never works, even at the highest levels, even in the World Cup. That was the goal of his life.
So Musaba trying to answer here as he stops up. He has great quick start-stop ability.
Yeah, he really does. He's been, I would say, their strongest player so far. And it's got to be frustrating. Now, how will Cleveland respond? They've played Erie even, and even perhaps you could say outplayed them until that goal. So can they get something on the board here in the final 9 minutes plus extra time?
Now we'll see. Here comes Hernandez, a quick chip. He has Sanchez sprung free. We'll see if those two go. Sanchez just fires it away.
Not sure what that was all about.
That was an interesting play there. I don't think Tovar, he was off to the side here. So
I don't know if he mishit that or what the thinking was on that one.
Interesting theory.
They had some numbers.
Again, but as Jack mentioned, we tick towards halftime. It'll be an interesting one, as I believe that'll be, okay. They'll just let it roll back to Armandia. Could have been closed offside there. But we have Hunter Lytle talking about all the America 250 celebrations coming up with the city of Erie, starting with, you can start things off here with the Erie Commodores next Friday, July 3rd. And then we will have the Grimace Shootout.
Yeah, very excited for that. He works for the city. Don't tell him I'm planning on shooting off my own fireworks.
Okay.
So if you could just keep that to yourself.
Yeah, I'll keep that to myself. You know, what would be interesting is a great outlet pass there. Hernandez with it now. Geraldo, he's going to feed him. Does he have enough speed to get around? If he keeps his feet, maybe a chance, but falls down, and then it allows Cleveland to clear, at least for the time being.
Yeah, Hernandez, that just went, maybe a foot too far. It just, not a mishit, but just unlucky for Erie. If Hernandez had been able to control that more so, it may have been a goal for Erie on the pass.
You know, I feel like for this Grimace Shootout, we should be like tossing McMuffins or something into the, since it's McDonald's.
I think their breakfast is phenomenal. They have that bake, the egg and cheese thing where the biscuit is flavored like a like maple syrup. Outstanding.
I'm usually a hotcakes guy myself.
Those are hard to eat in the car, though.
Oh yes, yeah. If
but they're
traveling,
very good. They're outstanding.
If we want to do fun facts of each other, a good family friend of ours, his name was Shoemaker, and he used to go for breakfast and lunch in his retirement every day to McDonald's. Guy lived to be 93.
Is he the one that did the documentary? Where the guy
30 Days.
Yeah.
What was that? Super Size Me or something?
Super Size Me.
Oh gosh, no, that was not him.
Oh, nice pass.
That
up
was
ahead.
a great pass by Sanchez, trying to feed Geraldo, who tries to get it back.
Oh, just a brilliant pass by Sanchez, and again, that was well defended, but unlucky. That was a phenomenal pass to feed it in there. I think McDonald's breakfast is outstanding.
I wonder if we can get like an NIL sponsorship deal here if we keep.
I don't even want any money. I'll just take $20 and
per week for breakfast.
Allegedly, there is a card for famous people, that like a gold McDonald's card that is just free. You just show it, and it's like probably Tom Hanks has one.
That was an interesting choice to go with Tom Hanks as your first selection for famous.
Well, he's like the coolest guy. I mean, right?
Well, right. Especially with Toy Story out. I would have thought you would have gone more recent, considering the planning is nearing a conclusion for the Swift-Kelsey wedding.
I could care less
Great
about that.
feed there for Tovar to Hernandez. You don't want to go to Madison Square Garden?
I do, but not for that. Unless he gets her money and can take full. He bought a minority ownership in the Guardians. Unless he can take her money and buy the entire team.
We'll see if we can.
I'm assuming there's going to be a heavy prenup in that particular marriage.
I was going to say, I'll see if I can get the.
And we've got a Commodore player down.
Team. I believe that looks like Hernandez is down. Slow to get up.
Yeah, I think it looks like he's okay though.
We'll get the investigative team on to see what the prenup situation is there for you.
Well, I can tell you what it is. It's his money versus her money. That's exactly what it is.
All right. Well, Jack, I will turn things over as I head down.
What an entertaining first half, John. I'll tell you what.
Boy, and it's
and one of the greatest goals you'll ever see.
I was going to say, too bad we didn't have Coach Cata joining us because that'll be
Well, I think we have an early run for the man of the match. I'll tell you that.
Yes. I think we know who that may be.
So John will head down for the halftime festivities. Glad you're with us here on a gorgeous night. I feel like I'm repeating myself here in Erie at Mercyhurst University. But Cleveland looking to recoup some momentum here after that brilliant goal. That one goes through. It is 1-0 Erie. on Julian Tovar's gorgeous bicycle kick. That one swatted out of there. Armandia, both hands, and there was no way if he had tried to catch that, that probably would have ended up being a goal. So that was all he could do, and he did it brilliantly. Again, you could hear the wind going through the microphones here. It is windy, but we wanted to have this press box open, so it's nice and cool for yours truly. But really a perfect night. We have been so fortunate this season to have, other than the friendly at the start of the season when it was maybe 50 degrees, we have had outstanding weather. Not for all the Commodores games, as we mentioned, when these two teams met up in Berea, they had to endure a 3+ hour lightning delay. Commodores saw that one through 2-0, and I want to credit the Cleveland broadcasters for seeing us through that rain delay. Those guys did a phenomenal job going through favorite ballpark foods. That's not easy to vamp for 3 hours. They did a great job. Back the other way now. Cleveland here in the 43rd minute looking to get on the board. And we're going to get a corner here in the 43rd, nearly the 44th minute. Cleveland looking to tie this thing up right before half and steal the momentum going into the locker room. There's the corner. It's loose in front, and it's headed away. That one got over the head of the keeper, Armandia, but the Commodores were able to clear it out. Tovar giving chase now, but all the pressure now up for Cleveland. And what a boost that would be if they could put one in the back of the net here in the final minute plus extra time. Just happened again. And in the final minute plus extra time. And this will be a goal kick. Happening. So here's the goal kick into the wind, or rather with the wind at his back, I should say, misspoke. Once again, fans, if you go to Erie Apparel online, you can purchase these jerseys. There's also a red version.
Two minutes, extra time, 2 minutes.
So they're going to give them 2 minutes stoppage time here, as we're not quite at the 45th minute. Commodores in front 1-0 on Julian Tovar's remarkable bicycle kick. You know, the other thing when you go up into the air for one of those bike kicks, you don't know where you're going to land. First of all, you could kick a teammate or a defender in the face. You could also land on a shoe, land on someone. You are risking life and limb, and it came through with one of the most gorgeous goals you will ever see. Julian Tovar, and that's where we're at, 1-0 Commodores. We'll have John Leidick at halftime, as we will go through the Erie 250 celebrations. We'll also have the McDonald's presentation. John, you with us?
I am, and boy, Jack, it's going to be a tougher man of the match in this one. I mean, with a goal like that, I think it's hard with Tovar, but you also have Aymar Armandia. He has been up to the task here in this opening half of play.
Well, that play about 2 minutes ago, as you were making your way down, where Armandia put both hands up and swatted it, I mentioned it was all he could do. If he had tried to catch it, it would have been a goal. That is phenomenal instinctive work by Armandia. You're right, he's been brilliant.
So yeah, the 2 minutes of extra time here as we'll get set for an interview, of course, with Hunter Lytle, talking about everything from July 1st through the 4th, from Wednesday through Saturday next week, and then, of course, get you underway for Grimace, who, Jack, I know is highly anticipating the shootout down here in the field.
Bring me up a couple like McMuffins. I'll tell you what, though. Geraldo almost took that thing away from Banderi. That was almost a stolen goal from Erie. Very close. And
make your way down, Jack. I can tell you down here, the the Erie apparel tent is buzzing with
Yes,
all
it
the
should
new
be.
Maritime.
I was mentioning these kits are phenomenal, and again, there is a red version which we may see on the field. If you go to Erie Apparel or you buy them, they will press the number on you for you, any number of your choosing. These are, I mentioned, in almost 15 years of doing these games, these are my favorite Commodores jerseys by far.
And they've done a great job just on the Heritage collection that they had earlier this year, too, in the hats. So plenty of great stuff.
Jurkovic, boy, all kinds of room over there. That was a nice cross to the far side, and well done by the Commodores on the back end, because Jurkovic had all kinds of room over there on the far side.
This has been evenly played here, Jack, in this opening half, despite the 1-0 lead for the Commodores.
I couldn't agree more, and I think Cleveland, I don't know that they need to make a whole lot of adjustments. Another beautiful ball. That one had to be 50 yards in the air. We'll see if Cleveland, they'll give them one more shot here before the half ends. There you go.
All right.
But I think you're absolutely right, John. Evenly played, well played half, but just a brilliant goal. Nothing that Cleveland could do. Just a phenomenal goal, a once-in-a-lifetime goal by Tovar.
Yeah, that's one goal that you just tip your cap and say well done on that one for what Tovar was able to do in that opening half of play.
Yeah, and you mentioned RMD was phenomenal, but the back end of the Commodores defense as well, because they've not been used to being on their heels, and they were on their heels a little bit in that first half. So we want to credit guys like Emmanuel, Schroeder, and Sanchez. They were outstanding. Any time that Cleveland got down there, and particular Masaba, number 10 for Cleveland, always seemingly free on that far side. Those Commodore defenders did a phenomenal job.
A great first half of play as we turn into the halftime show here on the Erie Commodores network, joined by Hunter Lytle, the special events coordinator for the city of Erie, and a number of other duties that you handle on a day-to-day. Hunter, thanks so much for joining us. A busy weekend for the city of Erie and for a lot of people coming up with America 250. Let's start things off coming up July 1st, an exciting start to the week on Wednesday.
Absolutely, and thanks so much for having me here. Mayor Devlin apologizes she couldn't be here tonight, but we're really excited to talk about what we have coming up this week. So July 1st, we have the Children's Museum. They're going to be doing an America 250 program for our youth and families, a lot of take-home activities that you'll be able to share and save to commemorate this 250th year, which we've been planning for and working on now for the past 5 months. So on July 2nd, thanks to Cal Pfeiffer and the Hagen History Center, we'll be bringing back the Brig Niagara. And there'll be a boat parade, and that'll start at 11 a.m. down at Dobbins Landing on July 2nd. And we're very excited about that. And they'll be here for most of the summer, so you'll be able to see her out on the bay and throughout the community on the lake as well for most of the summer. And then on July 3rd, up here at Saxon Stadium at Mercyhuse University, the Commodores will play their final home game before they enter the playoff season. So we're very excited about that. That will start at 5 p.m. And then that evening, we have a two-part program. The City of Erie, along with our partners, Erie Events and Rebich Investments, will be hosting our 250 celebration, A Light and Liberty on the Lake, which will be featuring a Marshall Tucker Band at Rebich Investments Amphitheater, as well as our fireworks show on Dobbins Landing. So we're very excited about that. The concert will start around 6:30 p.m. at Rebich Investments. That's a ticketed concert. You can get tickets at erieevents.com. They're still for sale. And then the fireworks obviously are free as always. They'll start around 10 p.m. that evening. And they're going to be bigger than better than ever thanks to Rebich Investments. They'll be about 5 to 7 minutes longer than they normally have. And we're also going to have additional fireworks involved in the shoot as well. And thanks to Joe Lang and iHeartMedia, Star 104 will be doing the simulcast with the synchronized music on the radio on Star 104. Arrive early. There's going to be lots of traffic. EMTA is going to be running bus routes from Perry Square and from the Lincoln Park and Ride, both to Dobbins Landing and also to Rebich Investments. And also come down early to check out all the various restaurants and activities we have going on down there. Oliver's Beer Garden, Woody's, Rum Runners, The Cove, The Wharf, and all the other variety of things that we have going on. So it's going to be a really, really great night. And then on July 4th, to celebrate America 250, the City of Erie is partnering with the Erie Philharmonic to do the Erie Philharmonic Live in Bayview Park. So that program will begin at 11 a.m. on July 4th. And the program will start with a variety of family and youth activities. There'll be instrument petting zoo provided by the Erie Philharmonic, among other activities. And then Josh Travis, who's a local singer-songwriter, will be kicking the afternoon off with the solo acoustic performance at 1 o'clock. And then the Erie Phil will take the stage at 2:30 p.m. at Bayview Park that afternoon. So we're super excited for all we have going on here this coming week. It's going to be a really busy week. We encourage everyone to come out, celebrate community, celebrate Erie, and celebrate America 250 with us on July 4th. We've worked really hard on planning this, and we hope that everyone comes out and enjoys it.
Hunter, a lot of stuff to get to. What has it been like, and one final question for you, for the city and everyone involved to just plan and try to provide something for everyone, and how excited are you guys to see it all unfold?
We're very excited. You know, as I said, we've been working on this for about 5 months now, and we could not have done this without our partners, with Todd Rebich at Rebich Investments, Gus Pine, Ed Snyder at Erie, all the waterfront, bayfront businesses who have been with helping us plan this and cooperating and understanding, and the EMTA and all of our other partners. We're very excited. We've been working very, very hard, and this year it's going to be the biggest and best July 4th celebration the city's ever had.
Hunter, we appreciate it all, and we know it's going to be an exciting week from the city of Erie, so make sure you plan it out. Still to come, a jam-packed halftime show here at Saxon Stadium. We have Grimace setting up his shootout challenge. That's coming up next here. You're watching Erie Commodores Soccer. It's all presented by LECOM.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
LECOM is among the nation's largest and most applied-to medical schools. We expand the boundaries of medical knowledge, challenging our students and preparing them to realize their potential. With 4 campuses nationwide and over 17,000 alumni, you can become part of the next generation of LECOM graduates. At LECOM, we make doctors.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today. At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves...
Grimace, as we welcome you back to halftime here at the Erie Commodores, as we're getting set here, we'll see how many saves Grimace from McDonald's of the Three Rivers can make. Some sharpshooters in this lineup here. We're here at Saxon Stadium, and Grimace can't get to that one either. So the shooters so far, they are 2-0. Grimace is going to have to recover here and recap. We'll see how he sets up as we join you here, a 1-0 lead for the Erie Commodores. And Grimace can't get to that one either. Couldn't get the outstretched hand, as it is 3 for 3 so far for the young athletes here. This guy looks like he can pack some heat behind it. And this one, and oh, Grimace stumbles in front in the box. So another goal so far here in the Grimace Shootout Challenge, as these shooters are coming up with kick after kick so far. We'll see some experience here, a veteran. See where she puts it. Shot there, and that one bottom corner, and then hits the gritty in front of Grimace. As we've got 5 for 5 as the teams start to make their way back out. Do want to recognize the Junior Commodores girls 13U, boys 14U. Up, eyeing up Grimace. And a shot here. This one goes in. Grimace can't come up with the save. He is struggling here tonight in the Shootout Challenge to come up with the saves that he has needed for his team. And so far, each person with a goal scorer coming up. Another young rookie coming up with a shot on the goal there, as we have continued the success here so far, as Grimace has been unable to come up with the necessary saves. And this one, another shot, and Grimace tries to dive, but this one goes in. And a goal here. So Grimace is going to try and find one save. Maybe he can get one here. Oh, gets a piece of that one, but it goes in nonetheless. And Grimace is having a tough night here. He can deliver breakfast, lunch, and dinner at McDonald's, but can't come up with a save so far in this one. Another shot, and this one goes to the far post and in. Grimace with one more, I think, maybe one or two more as we approach the start of the second half. Again, a 1-0 lead for the Commodores on a Julian Tovar bicycle kick. Rory Melody, he's got this one, and he overshoots it, so the first would-be save. And he lets him know about it. So this ball will tick back towards us here on the back line. Grimace denying the young Melody. This one goes in. And the celebration. So one more for this one. And this might end the Grimace Shootout Challenge as we are approaching the start of the second half. Oh, that one off the bar. So Grimace has 2 no goals so far to his belt. We have 2 more shooters, and a couple of members of the Junior Commodores coming up to face Grimace. Boys 14U team that's headed off to Denver, Colorado for the National Premier League Championships as he puts it home. 14U boys team won the Tri-State Cup Championship 2-1 over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Academy, and I believe that indeed will finish things out here as Grimace, a tough night, I want to put behind him here, as that'll wrap things up for the Grimace Shootout Challenge. Again, that was brought to you by the McDonald's of the Three Rivers. We'll be back with second half action. You're watching Erie Commodores Soccer. It's all presented by LECOM.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
For Mercyhurst, entering the D1 arena isn't just about athletics. It's striving higher in every aspect, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in our community. By elevating ourselves into Division I, we are building upon a tradition of academic excellence, surrounding ourselves with like-minded institutions, and shaping our students into thoughtful leaders. Our journey isn't just beginning, it's where we are. Experience the rising tide and join the D1 Lakers.
Visit Erie. Good life, great lake.
We welcome you back to Saxon Stadium here on the beautiful campus of Mercyhurst University. A 1-0 lead for the Erie Commodores over Cleveland SC as they look to sweep the regular season series. And Jack, the lone goal in this one was the goal of the year from Julian Tovar.
Well, we saw it right there, and it, and now we get the slow-mo replay. I mentioned I've been doing these games, and you see there. Extraordinary, the extension. I mean, he could not do that again. I mean, he could do that again if he tried. It is the best goal that I have seen in 15 years.
Let's see if we stop it right. Yeah, here's our new goal cam. We want to give you a look from inside the net. Look at this one. What does a keeper do? It still gets a piece of it.
Yeah, he did. He did all he could do. I mean, that nothing Normando could do there, but just a phenomenal picture-perfect bicycle kick.
I want to talk about it. Almost looks like him and Emmanuel from that first view you saw. It was almost like it was a choreographed play there that they both went at the same time.
Like synchronized swimmers. Yeah, exactly.
What a goal as the Commodores get back out here. Again, looking to sweep the regular season set. So far this year, they have outscored Cleveland 3-0, including 2-0 in the opening half of play. And this one, they've already clinched the conference, so I don't. At this point,
there's nothing to be gained from winning other and momentum. But more important than momentum is not getting anyone hurt. So I would suspect that we will see very liberal substitutions here in the second half, but you never know.
Yeah, it looks
because again, you're going to be potentially playing this team, if not in the semis, then in the finals, and you want to establish dominance. But I think more importantly than anything else, you don't want to get anywhere. We saw that from the United States the other night. They had nothing to gain in that group, the final group game against Turkey. Lost a heartbreaker, didn't matter. what matters is Bosnia.
Looks like one of the substitutions we'll see will be Dylan Sumner. It looks like he is in. I do not see Hernandez to start this second half, but it looks like other than that, everybody else, yes, Tayo Baba. Yeah, it looks like same lineup beyond Sumner in for Hernandez to start this second half for the Commodores.
Sumner's had a nice year, and of course the former coach of this ball club and has come back as a player at this point, and he's had a great year with a goal on the season, and he's extraordinarily talented. I mean, he could absolutely have multiple goals, as is the case for most of these players.
And Jack, you mentioned at the top of this broadcast just how important this game is. You know, obviously the Commodores want the momentum and dominance, but for this Cleveland team, they're holding on right now to a home playoff match that would be against the Ambassadors FC. But this could be, I think, their third consecutive loss. They came off a tough defeat at home to Rochester this past Wednesday of 5-4. They were down 4-2 at the half.
Well, yes, and what's important here is that even though, we'll have a look-see here if they can get something going, but even though
Takuchi gets it to Sumner, looks for the strike, will feed it back to Suji.
Nice pass by Sumner there.
Goes along the line and in.
Oh, my goodness. How did that get through? I think the keeper was screened by one of his defenders. Somebody didn't see that ball going in. I think the keeper was screened.
So that comes here in the 47th minute. Is that
22?
That's Suji with the goal.
Third on the year for Suji. And I really think somebody was screened there because that should have been stopped.
Yeah, that was an interesting play as that just seemed like a harmless feed into the box, and it found its way into the back of the net. So they make their way back a 2-0 lead. And a early goal, just a minute into the action here in the second half, and the Commodores have come out to play, and that is a debilitating goal to give up if you were Cleveland SC here. Again, as we were just talking about, they're fighting for that home field advantage against the Ambassadors, and to give that one up, it is going to be a tall task to climb the mountain here to come back, as you see Musaba coming in here, but just to give that one up was rough.
Yeah, it really was because, again, boy, when it left his foot, did not at all look like it was going to find the back of the net. I'd be interested to watch the replay on that and find out exactly what happened. But what I was talking about before the goal in terms of the standings, while Cleveland has a 4-point lead over Ambassadors, they have also played 2 more games. The Ambassadors, and I believe they played today, and I don't know the result of that, they are 6-0-3, so the Ambassadors, if Cleveland loses here, could theoretically catch up to them because, again, this is the final regular season game for Cleveland.
Do a quick check of the score. See if we can find it here.
So we've had one brilliant goal and one, I guess in baseball they call that as an excuse me hit. That was certainly the case there, but you'll take it any way you can get it.
Looks like the old Bill Buckner play, huh?
Poor Bill Buckner.
Right between the legs.
But Suji, by the way, he parodied himself brilliantly on Curb Your Enthusiasm. But Suji now with his 3rd goal of the year to go along with 2 assists. You talk about injecting life into this ball club on the offensive end. He has been phenomenal this season, and we weren't sure he'd be in the lineup today. Thank goodness he was.
Yes, it was fantastic that he found his way into the lineup because if not, who knows? Although the Commodores are so deep there, Jack.
Yeah, they really are. Look out in front here. Chance in front, and that was a heck of a play. And now we've got an injury. This does not look good. He went right down on his shoulder, and that looks legitimate. And I hope, I don't see the number, but I hope he's okay because he went down immediately. This does not look good.
Yeah, he's still down. As right now, looks like a yellow card might have been issued there.
He's okay. I was really worried it was a Kevin Love situation where maybe he got his arm pulled out, but looks like he's okay. Kelly Olynyk, I believe, was the gentleman who did that.
Kelly Olynyk.
Ruined the Cavaliers' NBA title hopes.
Was that when he was with Boston?
That was when he was with Boston. The Cavs were up 3-0, blowing them out in Game 4, and he ripped Kevin Love's arm out of his socket and didn't have him available for the rest of the postseason.
Not that you hold that to this day.
No. I'm still mad at Jose Mesa.
Wow, that's a throwback. I actually got an autograph from Jose Mesa back in the day.
Well, I can tell you what to do with that autograph if we're off the air. Seriously though, what would you do with a you walk into
I was a young
you
kid.
walk into a card, Keenum Sports Cards with a Jose Mesa autograph. They're gonna laugh in your face. I'm sorry, no offense, but they're gonna laugh.
I was a young kid. It was one of those Pirates teams at one point that he was at the back end of his career. I had one of an old hat. I still see it to this day. It was black cap part, yellow rim, and
I remember those.
He signed it, and at the time, young me getting one of his first autographs was ecstatic, not understanding who it was.
Well,
the highlight of my career was getting the entire Pittsburgh Penguins 2008 Stanley Cup final team. We would stand out on the avenue there as that great feed by Sumner into Tovar.
What a beautiful pass by Sumner indeed.
They're going to call offside.
You called it, John. Yes, he was offside. That was a gorgeous pass off the jump by Sumner.
Currently, as this one got underway, no score yet between, at least it's not updated, between Niagara and Ambassadors. I'll try to check as here comes Musaba in all alone on Armandia, and what a save in front, and another one! And then finally Faye will come and clean up the rebound there for the goal. But boy, two spectacular saves by Aymar Armandia. That one comes in the 52nd minute here to make it a 2-1 game.
There was a defensive breakdown, though, here between about the 50 and the 30-yard line, so that was unfortunate. But you're right, Armandia did everything he possibly could.
Yeah, got away around the defender there, and Armandia came out to challenge the two defenders retreating. I think that was Cordy on the near side that was trying to get the stop, rather, and that was Musaba, who has just been spectacular so far this season. For the season, rather, I beg your pardon, in this game. As here come the Commodores on the attack as Tovar speed gets to it. Sumner there in the box. Tovar with it now as he fires, and that one just a bit wide and just crosses outside the uprights, or he would have had a field goal for himself.
Yeah, what just went wrong, just a bit outside, but you know, again, a bit of a defensive breakdown for Erie. You know, maybe a moment where they were a little bit lax there, and I'm sure they're at full attention now because this is suddenly just a one-goal game.
But they have come and tried to press here, trying to get the momentum back as Geraldo going to try and do that side. He fires it on net, and that one just off the front upright.
Geraldo tried to stall there, but nobody was able to get to the far post in time. That was a little bit unfortunate. Geraldo did all he could.
Well, we have an update from the Ambassadors game. It is a 7-0 lead at half over Niagara 18-12.
Oof.
So that would put, with, you know, pending the outcome of this one, that could put, Ambassadors within a point of Cleveland SC?
I believe so. We'll see what happens here. I guess Niagara 18-12 suffering the same fate as the original Niagara ship. Not ideal.
As Musaba, again, with that speed, getting around the Erie defenders, just going to try and take it himself right in front, and they tie it.
Wow.
Faye again with his 6th of the season, and just like that, in a matter of minutes, 2 minutes later, and we were tied.
And it was all Musaba. It was Musaba on the near side, just outrunning everybody else. And I really do. I think when Erie scored that second goal, body language-wise, they got a little complacent. Cleveland certainly did not quit. And that was all Musaba. A phenomenal pass. Well done. So I guess it was a ricochet, but nevertheless.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's a tie ball game as we go for the restart here. Referee wasn't ready. So we'll play on here into the 55th minute. As we get set here.
You know what, though, John? I think trying times are good for this team that's already wrapped everything up. I think you want, as a coach, you don't want to lose, but you want some adversity. Let's see how they respond here.
I don't know. The New York Knicks didn't have a whole bunch of adversity on their way, right?
Well, if they did it at the first half. I mean,
the New York Knicks.
Right. I mean, they were down 29 points against the Spurs at one point. They faced adversity in the game.
In game 1.
Well, no, it was game 3, I think it was.
Was that 3?
Was it game 3?
Yes, you're right.
Weren't the Cavs also up 22 with 6 minutes left in the
well, in the
game
finals.
1?
I was talking maybe more the run to the championship.
No, that's true. Well, now they were down 2-1 to Atlanta, and then they just went on a tear. And
12 straight, I believe it was.
Got to begrudgingly give them credit. My buddy Noah Hiles covers the Pirates was spotted on a stoplight.
Yes, I did see that photo.
Down in Manhattan.
They're going to hang it in the Louvre.
Yeah, or in the loo, one or the other.
Yeah.
But I was happy for him, evidently a Knick fan. Now a columnist, Noah is.
Yes, yeah, he got elevated. He has quickly become
one of the stars. Yeah, he knows his stuff. He's going to be one of those ones that's going to be big time.
As we play on here. Back to the action here at Saxon Stadium. Do want to remind you, get those tickets, eriecommodores.com for the big weekend next week, Friday, right here at Saxon Stadium. That'll close out the regular season against Ambassadors FC. That'll be a 5 o'clock start. Do note that if you're headed out to the match, you can do that. And here comes Musaba again.
More lackadaisicalness, if that's a word.
As here, this one cutting across, trying to feed. A little miscommunication there that time. Because I think if you just continue the run there, that time it was Nanchoff that just was trying to go more east-west and not north-south.
Yeah, I think if he had gone to the near side, he just guessed wrong. But again, Erie not quite on their toes at the moment. A little bit out of character here over the last 15 minutes, and they've allowed 2 goals.
So we'll see what they can do. It was even the end you mentioned, Jack, the end of the first half. It was a number of chances for Cleveland that they maybe could have tied it then or took the lead into half. But Commodores get that early goal there that time, and a gift that it was for Suji.
But, it's not that Cleveland made a couple of great runs. I mean, they did in the end, but it was really turnovers. It was sort of like James Harden basketball. Okay, they got 2. Why'd they get 2? Because James Harden turned it over. That's what Erie did, but maybe now a chance to take the lead.
Masaki Suji with it, just fires on net, and Ormando, and a little push from behind. Hard to do anything with that because you got to get it off quick with 3 defenders that were trailing. And a substitution getting set here for the Commodores, Santiago Bustamante.
Boy, that was such a great pass from Takuchi, too, and just straight on. Keeper was there. Nice stop. Nothing really you can do, but a great pass by Takuchi. And now you're seeing Erie's body language perk up a little bit. That run maybe got them back into it from a headspace standpoint.
Yeah, it's been interesting, Jack, because we mentioned early on in the season just the decisiveness of which the Commodores played with. You couldn't really grade them well. It's been interesting to watch them over the last couple of home games here. Obviously, the 1-1 draw with Flower City. And then, of course, in this match so far with Cleveland, a much tighter contest and kind of reveals itself about this team and how they face a little bit of a challenge.
Well, and to your point, we didn't really know how good some of the opposition was. I think we knew doing the research that Riverhounds in the friendly was good based on how many Division I players they had. But beyond that, we weren't really sure, and Niagara was missing a bunch of key players in that game. Masaba looking for another one.
So he fires that one. That'll go off Carty and roll to the back line. That should set up a corner, I believe.
Masaba looks like he got a B12 shot at halftime. I mean, he was phenomenal in the first half over on the far corner. He has raised his game. He wants to put this team on his back.
He has done just that. He has been spectacular for this group. From Uganda, he's played at the University of Rio Grande this past season. He had a pair of goals for them. He has been the star of the show so far. Faye has the 2 goals to give him 6 on the year, but they have been all set up by the work and the entries into the attacking third by Musabas. We'll get set to send in this corner. Goes short, and there's
Sandal,
direct,
and they get another one. Were they onside?
It's Faye again. A hat trick as the header that went off a defender, and all of a sudden, in a matter of, 7 minutes, a 3-2 lead now for Cleveland SC. This one coming, 8 minutes. This one coming into the 60th minute as all 3. And a team in shock right now for the Erie Commodores. 47th minute, they were up 2-0. Just 13 minutes later, they're down by a goal. As Carty comes off. So they'll get reset. The faithful here trying to get the excitement level back for the Commodores. Also some Cleveland fans here cheering on their squad. We'll get the restart from Tovar and see if the Commodores can regroup. They have, again, come into this one unbeaten. This is not the first time they've trailed this season.
First time they've trailed at home.
First time they have trailed at home. That is indeed, because I believe the lone time that they trailed this season was to the Buffalo Stallions on the road. Here comes Tovar as he tries to cut it in. And you know, Jack, you have to think back to the moments right after that second goal for the Commodores. You had a couple of good looks here. I believe it was Suji, and then another one may have been Sumner that went wide over the net. Chance to make it a 3-goal game. Maybe could have deflated the sails, and Cleveland was able to prevent those, rally, and here they are in an 8-minute span with 3 goals.
Well, and you can hear this crowd is totally, or you can't hear, I should say, this crowd is totally stunned. I think the Commodores are stunned. I think they rested on their laurels to an extent when they got that 2-goal lead. And I think in fairness, everyone expected it because we've seen how good they've been all year at home, and now another chance for Cleveland.
Turnover, Musaba in the right spot here, trying to avoid 3 defenders, does a nice spin move, gets around another defender and fires. As boy, he has been on another planet so far in this one. 3 defenders around him. He spins out of it, gets to the ball, and is able to fire off a shot.
I mean, just somehow slithering through there. Absolutely phenomenal. He's a D1er from VCU. The Commodores, I think they're the Commodores, aren't they? Isn't Virginia Commonwealth?
Yes, the Commodores.
Yes. Made the Final Four in men's basketball here some years ago. And you can see why Musaba is a D1 guy. Now, let's be clear. He's smiling. He's down on the ground, and he was smiling and laughing. So just if you're not hurt, just get up. I mean, Sandahl, he was literally down on the ground smiling.
So they'll get a quick water break in here as we hit the 63rd minute.
Hydration break.
Oh, okay.
But again,
non-discrimination against Gatorade.
It has something to do with the ads. I don't know what. But again, I think this is going to be really good for the Commodores to see how they face adversity. They had a nice little attack after Cleveland tied it. Then obviously Cleveland came back, took the lead. Right now, this feels like it's Cleveland's game. Can Erie flip the switch?
Alvar Silva and David Citron warming up here as potential substitutions for Kata Nastuda. And with his club down a goal,
we've seen what Citron can do. Had that hat trick earlier this season, accounting for all 3 of his goals, looking for more of the same.
Faye coming with speed on Schroeder, tries to get around him but can't. Schroeder calmly repossesses and sends it forward. This has just been an interesting turn of events.
Well, and again, you can hear a pin drop here. This crowd is stunned. The only thing you can hear is the wind coming through, because I think these fans were sort of ready for a coronation, and instead, all of a sudden, they look at 3-2.
Do want to thank, while we have a pause here, all our great sponsors this season: Michelob Ultra, Visit Erie, Erie Insurance, Curtsy Food Service, Lecom, our title sponsor, Marquette Savings Bank, John Russell Brewing, and of course, the great people at R. Frank Media. Rob and his crew are second to none in what they put on in terms of all their different events, but of course the broadcast here, the one we bring to you every home game, and they have just a number of different parts of the broadcast that makes it top notch. So I want to thank Rob and all his great workers down and around the field and all around Saxon Stadium as we get back to action here. With the Commodores trailing 3-2. If you're just joining us, it was the Erie Commodores in the 34th minute, which was the goal of the year from Julian Tovar, a bicycle kick that had the Commodores up 1-0 at the half. They got a fortuitous goal from Masaki Suji a minute into the second half to take a 2-0 lead, and then in 8 minutes, Abdou Faye with the hat trick to give Cleveland the 3-2 lead as we stand here in the 65th minute.
And Faye with the 3 goals, but none of them would have been possible without Masaba. He, to me, even though he has not scored and Faye has the hat trick, it's hard to not go with Faye, but Masaba to me has been the engine that's driven that Cleveland offense.
Yes, indeed. He has been the catalyst of this group as Sanchez tries to throw that one in, headed away by Carmignani, the Australian. Tonight, the last night of World Cup action, I believe, Jack.
Group stage, yes.
Group stage,
and,
yes.
Then the United States. It's a shame that they couldn't work it out so the U.S. would play on the 4th of July. Of course, we don't want to take any attention away from Kobayashi and the hot dogs, but odd. And here we go again with Masaba.
I think he's relinquished that title to Joey Chestnut.
Chestnut, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Boy, that was a beautiful chip pass. Just a phenomenal ball down there by Nanchoff, into the corner.
Masaba faked the shot and then dropped it back to Nanchoff, who will kick it back out. They'll reset. See what they can do here. Boy, the Commodores have just been on their heels. Just that one run by Tovar. And Tovar now, he's cramping or having some type of issue as he was hobbling.
Well, and it's a non-contact thing, which is a concern. I think hopefully you're right. Neither of us are physicians, and there's a good reason why. But
yes.
I think hopefully it is just a cramp. VCU, by the way, soccer, was just looking this up. They've won a number of conference championships, and I do want to correct myself. They are the Rams. They advanced all the way to the NCAA round of 32 in 2017. So a reason why they wanted Masaba, and we're seeing it here in front of our eyes. Maybe the best visiting player I think that I've seen this season, Masaba, just in terms of the eye test.
Yeah. I can't harken back too much of my recollection as Cyrus Conley also gets set to check in, so you have, he will probably check in for Tovar here. Try and get things going, and yeah, he's having a tough time of it with,
and the last thing you want to see, obviously, when you've got a game where the win doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, or really anything.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing of great importance, or great significance, I think is the word I'm looking for there.
Nick Romero, 11, will check in for Cleveland as he hops into the field. Not sure what that was about.
Faye will come out.
After the hat trick. I mean, we should give him some credit as well. I mean, he did score 3 goals.
Yes,
I mean, my goodness.
Especially
phenomenal.
Especially the first one, because there was 2 chances by Musaba that were spectacular saves by Aymar Armandia, and then he was able to there for the 3rd opportunity to go ahead and put it home.
The Commodores are not sad to see Faye headed to the bench for the rest of this match, I assure you. But another turnover.
Nanchoff with it to who else but Musaba. He's going to play with the defender. Throws it across on a crossover. Great job by Schroeder to just kind of clear that one out and give Commodore some time to regroup here.
And if you're Erie, so we're in the 68th minute. You know you've wrapped everything up. There's nothing to be gained from a technical standpoint by winning. Why do you? Well, because you want to send a message to this team. You already beat them on the road. You're going to probably get them again if seeds hold up. And you really want to win this game and a chance here perhaps.
Rakito Takuchi on the crosser here trying to find man in front, Cyrus Conley, but it'll find its way to Alvar Silva, gets it up to Sumner. Now Masaki Tsuji with it now. And this one bounced off. And this one will come to the near side. Who else? Musaba, and that time.
And just again, he just goes by people like they're made out of butter.
Tries to go there. Schroeder, a good job to not allow that pass to go through. And that one pounced away there, deflected off.
The local product, Charlie Peterson, getting ready to check in for the Commodores. He'll get a nice round of applause when he enters the game, but more pressing matters here.
This one in front, and that one almost goes in.
Boy, Romero, who had just checked in, I don't know, maybe 2 feet, hard to tell from this angle, but that was a great shot and a good opportunity.
As the Commodores have been unable to find some momentum here. as Charlie Peterson will check in for Jack Emanuel, so Erie native for Erie native. As a replacement there. And we'll have another one checking in here, as this will be Ren Nishida set to check in for Musaba. Maybe another substitution. Musaba's going to stay in here. I was going to say, I cannot see Cleveland withdrawing him from this match with roughly 20 minutes to go. So we will play on in the 71st minute. As again, the result inconsequential for the Commodores, but again, just from a pride thing and a momentum thing, you don't want to make losing a habit. Again, Cleveland had come in with a pair of losses, a loss to Rochester, a team that the Commodores had taken pretty good care of in their matchup. You don't want to have one loss turn into two as you get set for the postseason here with just one more match before we hit the second season.
Well, and we knew it'd be tough. I mean, the Commodores' schedule was backloaded. They didn't get Cleveland. They didn't get Ambassadors until the back end of the season. They still have one more game with Ambassadors on the 3rd. But, you know, the one good thing if Erie does lose is it's not their last game. It won't be the last memory, is they'll have a chance to sort of redeem themselves, but again, wanting to keep everyone healthy on July 3rd.
Jack Jenkins with pressure there, but Armandia comes out.
Because if it was back-to-back, I do recall a year when the Steelers ended the season against the Browns. Steelers had already clinched. The Browns needed to win to get into the playoffs. They didn't play anyone, so the Browns won. And then the very next week, the Browns went into Pittsburgh and absolutely pulverized the Steelers in the wild card round without their head coach, who was suffering from COVID. So, again, you don't want to make it a precedent.
2021, huh?
2020.
2020. Yeah, well, the 21 was the playoff game.
Yes, correct. January 21.
Yeah, January 21. I was at that game.
You were one of the few people.
I was in disbelief watching that first quarter unfold.
How about the first play when the ball sailed over Ben Roethlisberger's head?
Yeah, it was reminiscent of that Super Bowl between Seattle and Denver up in New York City.
First play. If you had on the prop bets a safety on the first play, you had a very good night. Yeah, that one a little bit out of frustration, but there you see the quickness there. Cleveland just outplaying Erie here, really in this second half. Absolutely.
So we'll see how it all plays out.
And I got to say, Romero, 11, who just checked in about, 10 minutes ago, he has really made an impact. You can see those fresh legs paying off.
I thought when you were referring to Cleveland and Pittsburgh and playoff implications, I thought you were talking about 2001 when Chris Fumatamafala.
That was the 02 season. That was January of 03. When Dennis Northcutt dropped the pass. Cleveland blew a 24-7 lead in Pittsburgh in the mud. Kelly Holcomb, Browns quarterback that day. I watched that game at the 3Ds. I was a freshman in high school. Did a radio hit with the late, great Jimmy LaCorchik and Chris Red Hughes when I was in high school from the 3Ds, and they had to give me special dispensation as a 14-year-old to get into the place. That was not a happy day. And Chico was with us. Mike Chico Borman was there that day.
Wow, what
fresh
a
off the hills.
cast
It
of
was
characters.
a couple days after his Buckeyes had won the 02 national title against Miami. Nice chance here. Boy, now, I'm not sure why for Erie, I'm not sure why Sumner turned around and started yelling at the referee when the ball was right in front of him. If he didn't really attack that ball when perhaps he had a chance, I think he was rightfully mad. I think he was held. At least he thought he was held. But you've got to go for the ball in that scenario.
Yeah. One of those, and that's going to be a call on Peterson. Defender falls to the ground. Peterson.
Refs have done a nice job tonight, I think. They nipped it in the bud early with that early yellow. They have not. This has not been a chippy game. In fact, really only Flower City was the only chippy game. I mean, it's been a really solidly played season, and really for Flower City, it wasn't any of the players that were chippy.
That was an interesting game for sure from the lead man for the Union. We're going to have another substitution here. As coming in, we'll try to get a number for you here. I think that's Felix Linder, maybe? No. It's a late substitution that we got from their head coach wearing 16 tonight.
which I had written down, but of course is blown away in the meantime.
All the best as we'll continue on here. 75th minute of action from Saxon Stadium. Again, it was a, if you're just joining us, it was a 1-0 lead by Julian Tovar and a goal that was Fernando Darabendini as the newest member of the lineup for Cleveland SC, as here comes Musaba feeding to the middle of the field. Romero, and a great poke there by Peterson. Up ahead, Cyrus Connolly can't catch up to it.
Well, he almost did, though. That was nearly a big mishap on the part of Cleveland.
As Suji with it now.
76th minute. It's getting late early here. Commodores need to get going.
As this one in front, and they score. Cyrus Connolly.
Oh my, we knew it. And Erie, having been outplayed this entire second half, comes back in a big way, and that has got to be a dagger for Cleveland.
As that one comes away in the 76th minute.
What a fun game.
This one has been a fun one to watch, and Cyrus Connolly has been largely a substitute since that opening game friendly against Pittsburgh, and he finds himself on the score sheet there. Good pressure. Yeah. As Connolly. It's been some interesting angles for Jack rejoins me here. Jack, it's been some odd angles. The Commodores shots have gone in.
Well, they are wearing blue.
Yes.
You're right. I mean, the second goal that Erie scored, and then that one, you wouldn't think on the initial attack that they would be able to get through to the net. I don't know if it was a defensive breakdown. That time, I think the second goal was. I think that was just Connolly outplaying everyone. That was a phenomenal effort by Cyrus Connolly.
So he was just dancing around down there, member of the Cayman Islands national team.
Yeah, it's where I do all my banking. That's the second time this year I've used that joke, by the way.
You and all the big checks that you cash.
Yeah.
I know you're
right, yeah.
High roller. Pulled up in your Mercedes-Benz.
Hey, Joe Lednuski, he's hanging out. Come on, he pays.
Yeah. Joe Lednuski, good friend of the program.
He spent the first hour of our show on Friday, incidentally, ranting about soccer, and I had to talk him off the ledge because what Cape Verde did was one of the most remarkable things in the history of sports in general. I really have to say that a country the size of Baltimore was able to get through to the second round and take out Saudi Arabia with all of their money from that Saudi trust fund was absolutely heartwarming, and I loved every second of it. So good for them. I hope they end up playing the United States in the final. I'll root for the U.S. I hope it's U.S. and Cape Verde in the World Cup final. No chance, but it'd be awesome.
Yeah, Silva tried to catch up to that one. Joe Lednuski of the Pennsylvania Sports Network. You can listen to him and Jack 12 to 2 every weekday.
I was on with Jed this morning as well for the Saturday morning show, checking in from beautiful Happy Valley.
Starting to get excited, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've started going through our Big Ten previews. We had some beat writers from both Northwestern and Purdue, Nathan Baird from Purdue and Matt Shelton from Northwestern this week, going through that gauntlet that the Nittany Lions face this season.
Yeah, I was looking over their schedule. Not much in terms of choices for the whiteout game.
No.
I would imagine it's late September, I believe. Wisconsin, does that sound
No, I think
right?
it's going to be USC, who's not that good. And we're going to get a free kick here for the Commodores. I think they may have actually added Juniata to their non-conference schedule.
Well, I think about the whiteout games in 2 of the last 3 years. 3 years ago, I believe it was, or 2 years ago, was Washington, and now you're talking about potentially USC. Boy, you would have told your grandfather about Big Ten play in 2026.
Well, I don't want to hear him complain because they're cashing the check and they agree
to
let those
I understand the
teams in.
dynamics of it.
So Fox wants you to play at noon. You're going to play at noon.
I'm not complaining on the part of USC. It's just an uncustomary matchup we would have thought about maybe even 5 years ago.
Penn State is free to rejoin the ranks of the Independents.
Well, and I don't think they'll be playing that USC game if it's a whiteout at noon.
Well, that's their only legitimate home opponent. So whatever the USC time is, that will be the whiteout. I think their next best home game is like Minnesota or something.
Golden Gophers.
Yes, who broke their hearts in '99. Penn State was undefeated, #1.
Here we are in a 3-3 game with 10 minutes to go talking about Big Ten football. Schroeder with
You
it
can
now.
see, though, the body language from the Commodores, though, in all seriousness. Like, that goal really perked them up because since that goal, they have completely outplayed Cleveland. Their handling field position, really, it was like they all got, shots of Gatorade or something like that. I mean, it's a totally different dynamic right now because Cleveland was in complete control after they tied it and then, indeed, when they took the lead.
Listen, and
you wonder why, real quick, sorry to interrupt, why you would take Faye out. Now, you don't want to get him hurt. He's your best goal scorer, but he just scored 3 goals. You pull him out of the match.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, you want to question now, do they play some strategy, right? Commodores, if you play for a draw, that doesn't give 2 points. How big that goal was, does it allow FC Ambassadors, who's winning big tonight, the 2 seed?
I think if
again,
you're Erie, you'd be very happy with a draw here, especially giving up that you gave 3 consecutive goals up in the second half. I think Erie would be very happy to come away with it, much like the U.S. would have been very happy to come away with the draw on Thursday night. Didn't work out, didn't matter. But I think if you're Erie, especially given how much momentum Cleveland had, if you could come away with a draw here and obviously getting jealous, wanting more.
Alvar Silva in front to Sumner, still loose as Cyrus Connolly, one of the second shots, tries to chip it back in, still bouncing around, ball loose. And finally, this one is corralled there that time by Alex Normando.
Conley, another half step, he would have had a goal. That ball was just out of the reach of his right foot. Nearly had his second goal of the match. If he had been able to get a foot on it, it would have been in.
Right now, as it stands, I believe Julian Tovar will be our man of the match for a postgame, as who else but Musaba forcing the turnover, feeds it to Romero. Romero with an open look. Aramendia with a great diving to his right for the save.
I got to be honest, John, this feels like a playoff game. It has the intensity, it has the high level of play like a playoff game. I think this is good for both teams because, again, Cleveland's in and they may have a home game, so they don't want to get anyone hurt either. But this has the intensity of a postseason match.
As Cyrus Connolly just too much behind it there, had Silva who will catch up to it and keep it in play. But, boy, he could have had him for a good look if he had just put a little less touch on that one.
Yeah, mishit. He'll say that same thing. But, again, Erie certainly outplaying Cleveland here over the last 10 minutes or so. And you get the sense that it's almost inevitable.
Can't imagine we'll have too much extra time in this one. Maybe 2 minute or 2?
I guess they'll give them 4. I think they want it because if you've had the extra goals and when it's tied, they tend to err on the side of And now we're going to get a free kick for the Commodores. Now there may have been an elbow to the face here. We'll see if we get a card. More importantly, we want to make sure that he's okay. That 22
for the Commodores.
Yeah, Suji rather is okay. But this is going to be a great opportunity for Erie here from about 40 yards out on the free kick.
He'll set it up.
And you got a few options. You can hit it as hard as you can, try to bend it, or maybe chip it up in the air. So almost like an onside kick, and you get a running start. Biggest key for Erie is stay onside.
And that is Jay Feely with your analysis here.
This was more of a John Carney guy. Phil Dawson, of course.
Yeah,
greatest mustache in American football history.
This one fired on net, deflected, and Normando deflects it away. That'll set up a corner for the Commodores.
Yeah, I'm not sure Normando. You can't take a chance. That one was drifting away, but that was a nice play athletically. But as you mentioned, Suji with the corner.
Boy, you could just feel the momentum and
it
how
just
it
feels
shifted.
like Erie's going to score here.
Yeah. As they'll go with the corner kick, a little shoving inside the net as Alvar Silva trying to lean on his defender. The referee said, let's let that go there, gentlemen.
It's good refereeing because you don't want anything untoward to happen while the ball is in play.
As this one short, Connolly tries to go for it. Is that one headed away?
One of the youth teams that escorted the Commodores out was their U14 boys team, and they have taken to the baseball field, and I think are playing kickball over there on the Mercyhurst baseball field.
As here in front,
loose
and still loose.
Oh.
Cyrus Conley couldn't get to
How
that.
did Conley not get a shot at it? The ball just ricocheted away. It looked like he had a wide open net.
David Citron was trying to come from the backside there and almost got a redirection in front as here come the Commodores again. Boy, since Silva and Connolly have come in, this has looked like a different club.
Yeah, it really has, and Cleveland totally on their heels. You're absolutely right. Those fresh legs have turned this match around.
Sanchez still in this one. You have more of the experienced group, and now if you're Schroeder, you've just got to get back because here comes Musaba trying to get around him. A slide tackle there and a great job. Yeah, he did a great job there, did Schroeder, to just angle himself and just punch those feet in there to get the ball away.
50-50. Does Musaba get tired? He does not appear to ever get tired. He has the same foot speed down the side as he did earlier in this match.
What does his bio say? I would have to imagine this is a gentleman that did track and field of some sort.
Well, if you were recruited to play at VCU, which is one of the best non-power soccer programs, one of them in the country, Akron and being another one.
Yes.
You've got to be, obvious, and we're seeing it in front of us. Now, he was on the 2025 team, I suspect, but with the changing landscape, not sure. And now the aforementioned Musaba down for a moment.
Little jersey there.
Ooh, nickel dimer. I think Erie's fortunate there. I think that might have been some home cooking. And boy, they're going quickly.
Cyrus Connolly has some speed if he can work with it. Cuts it. We'll see if he can get the cross off. No, but he gets the corner.
Boy, he had Silva there. I wonder if he could play that back, if he would have maybe centered it to Silva early, but he, as you said, he does get the corner out of it. And it just feels like you can sense it. The question is not if Erie's going to score a goal, it's if they're going to have enough time to score a goal here as we're now in the 87th minute. So John's going to head down to the field. He'll join me momentarily, then he will be joined for our man of the match. We still don't have one yet, incidentally. So corner coming up for the Commodores.
Contain!
87th minute, Commodores controlling things here in the second half. Can they get one more? They've come back to tie it. It was 2-0 Erie. It was 3-2 Cleveland. It's now 3-3. But the Commodores with incessant pressure here over the last 10 minutes or so. This has been a game of runs, and Erie had Cleveland pretty much on their heels much of the first half. Cleveland, for the first 20 minutes of the second half, had Erie totally out of whack. And now it's been the Commodores dominating, perhaps fitting that it's 3-3. We'll see if anyone can get a goal in the next 2:30 plus extra time. This one up, he's going to be offside, I believe. Yes, indeed.
All right, we're down here on the field. We'll see how much extra time is we await, but Normando, yeah, it wouldn't have mattered nonetheless, but came out and booted that one like an opening kickoff to an NFL game as this one's sent away. Schroeder will head it away from the Commodores net. And we'll see if the Commodores have one last push here. And we'll see how much extra time will be added. There's a chance here now. Alvar Silva has Cyrus Connolly on a run. Can he get it to him? He feeds it. Dylan Sumner. He shoots and scores!
What a pass by Silva, John! How about that?
In the 89th minute. Jack, what a run.
Oh my, you won't see a better pass than that. Silva to Sumner.
And Jack,
just brilliant. Go ahead, John, I gotta do the PA.
Okay, and I think the biggest key there was the fact that the Commodores had so many options because it was Alvar Silva that was able to get behind the defender and make the run, and then they had to choose one. Cyrus Connolly, the one they chose, obviously, as the lead man with the speed, and that allowed Sumner to sneak in there as Silva kind of slowed things up, and that allowed for the goal as the Commodores, who gave up 3 goals in a matter of 8 minutes from the 52nd minute on to the 60th, trailed until about the 74th, and here they are in front 4-3.
I'll tell you what, John, we have seen the 2 prettiest goals by far, in my mind's eye, of the season for Erie. That was number 2. Obviously, the bicycle kick for goal number 1 was number 1. But we have seen just some outstanding high-level soccer in this match. It really is befitting of 2 playoff teams and the 2 best teams in this conference.
Well, and Jack, and I was just saying, too, the hard part there, if you were Cleveland, was the fact that you had so many Commodores coming because they wanted to try and take away the pass to Connolly, who was the lead man on the charge there. That allowed Sumner to slip in the back door and have space to get the shot off.
Now, the refs did not signal me, or if they did, I wasn't looking, how much extra time. Now the coach is asking. I still have not yet gotten a signal. Now we're going to get a foul and a little bit. Now there's nothing, you don't want any of that. Get away, good job by the referee to get in there. You don't want anything in a game where the result does not matter. You do not want anything untoward to happen. Smart, well officiated there, well done.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the officials as they both come down and they tell folks to get back, but that looks like a square up before a title bout in boxing. Those two went head to head there, but a good job by the officials to break it up before anything got too serious. So we'll see.
Well, we still don't know. We're going to get 4 minutes of extra time.
Okay, so
4 minutes, stoppage time, 4 minutes.
So still a chance for Cleveland, but Jack, with how the momentum has been here for the last 15 minutes or so since the Commodores had that equalizer, I don't know if Cleveland has anything left in them.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, this has been a game of wild sort of runs, and you're right. We'll see if Cleveland can muster one more thing. The first key for Cleveland would be to get the ball down in that end. Right now, Erie is in control, and I mean, what you mentioned it. What a shot in the arm that some of these subs had given them, particularly Sumner. I mean, has just been extraordinary for the Commodores, as has Conley. I mean, it's like a different team with the 2 of them out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great job, and you know, the only question you have is because Connolly came in for Julian Tovar. Hopefully nothing too serious as he kind of limped his way off. So that would be the only cause for concern at this point.
Yeah, Tovar, the leading goal scorer on this team, you're right. But he's got plenty of time before that postseason game. Commodores with one more regular season game on July 3rd.
As Commodores will just head it back to Aramandia. Who do you think, Jack? Who should we go with man of the match? We've got a couple of options, I think, right now. Tovar, obviously, with the goal kick of the year.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Tovar. We're going to get a yellow unnecessarily here and a chance. They gave him 4 minutes. We've got about 2.5 minutes left of extra time because they didn't announce the 4 until there was a minute plus on the clock. I think you got to go with that. That's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen in person. I think you got to go with that one.
Yeah.
But Sumner's goal was, I mean, in any other match, it'd be Sumner because that was an extraordinary goal and a great cross as well. But Commodore's not out of the woods yet here.
Yeah, still an opportunity. Again, we've seen some crazy bounces here so far, Jack, tonight.
We have not seen a wild ending yet this year. There's usually 1 or 2 wild endings involving the Commodores every season. We don't want one now because they're ahead 4-3.
Well, I think the closest thing we would have had, Jack, would have been that Flower City game where Silva had that goal chance point blank that would have given the Commodores the win that just missed out.
Citron's onside here. I'm sorry, rather, that is Takuchi. But it was Citron that set it up with a great play.
Connolly hits Silva.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That'll be a goal kick. So that sort of gives Cleveland a stay of execution. If Erie had been able to keep control of that, they may have just blown everything dead. That's it. There you go, John. I'll let you have it for a a moment as I wrap things up from the press box. I'll come back with you.
All right, Jack. We'll come down here in just a second as we're getting set up, but a victory and a comeback for the ages and a win that this Commodores team had not had to this point this season. As they come away with a victory here tonight, a come-from-behind victory here at home. They had either been led or been tied throughout the year, so the opportunity to get one of those come-from-behind victories here tonight, certainly spectacular. We'll be intrigued to see what Coach Cata Nastuda has to say from this one. But boy, if you are just joining us, you missed a spectacular game. And there was a number of great players in this one, starting off with the goal of the year, arguably, with Julian Tovar and his bicycle kick goal. That was the lone goal of the first half. We saw 5 different goals here in the second half. Of course, it was Masaki Tsuji that came up with the second goal from an odd angle for a 2-0 lead. And then it was 3 consecutive goals from Abdou Faye in a matter of 8 minutes that gave Cleveland the 3-2 lead. From there, it was a battle of the Commodores trying to regain momentum. They did just that. Cyrus Connolly and just able to weave through defenders and find a loose ball and put it home. And from that point, it came down to the final few minutes, and that's when it was Connolly, Silva, and then Sumner on the attack, and Sumner coming up with the goal there for the 4-3 win as the Commodores improve on the season to 10-1-0, again remaining unbeaten so far this year.
Well, and John, I think that win speaks to the character of this ball club, because it was not a game they needed. We've already talked about it. They wrapped everything up. They wrapped up home field. They did not need to win this game. And indeed, Cleveland had all the momentum. They had scored 3 straight goals to go up 3-2. Erie comes back. I think this is one that's going to stay with them in their bones for if these two teams meet in the playoffs. It shows the character of this team in a game they didn't need to win, finding a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows how deep this team is. And again, the maybe veteran type leadership that this group has displayed all season long, to get some of those substitutions in the second half and to go through that spell where, yeah, they were hemmed in their defensive zone for a long time, but then those substitutions, Citron, Connolly, as well as Silva, those guys stepped in and kind of calmed the storm.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. You said it right off the bat. They looked like a different team, and they were a different team when those two guys came in. And I do wonder why perhaps Cleveland subbed out Faye after the hat trick. I'm looking up after the hat trick. I was looking at the screen, not at the camera. After the hat trick, but again, Cleveland didn't need to win. They're already in. They're talking about seeding and securing a 1 home game potentially. So they didn't need to win it either. But I just think from a character standpoint, this showed you what this Commodores team is all about. They did not need to win this game, but they found a way to win it.
Well, and I think you've got to commend too. I know he gave up a couple of goals here in the second half, but Aymar Aramandia certainly came up with some timely saves down the stretch there, because there were a couple of opportunities where you could have seen Cleveland make it a 2-goal advantage. He kept the Commodores in it, and that allowed them for the comeback here tonight.
Well, and John, even when it was 0-0, he had one play where the ball was up in the air and he swatted it down with both hands. There was nothing he could not. If he had attempted to catch it, it would have ricocheted away and they would have scored a goal. It's that kind of, and there was another play where he came out trusting his defenders, and you've got to make that split-second decision. I think he was biggest when it was 0-0, keeping it 0-0.
All right, we have Coach Cata Nastuda down here. Coach, you hadn't been down at home at any point this season. What does a win like tonight say about your ball club?
I think coming down that way, having a couple of injuries in the moment, and the guys show some personality, some character. Like, we maybe didn't deserve to win tonight, because I don't think we were better than them. But my players, the players today, they show character, personality, desire to win. Like everything that we've been doing the whole season, today reflected in this game. The 9 wins before and the tie was quality, everything was in our favor. But today we showed that even when the things are going wrong, we are a team that wins and will win more.
What did the substitutions there? It seemed like when Connolly, Silva, and Citron stepped in, they provided a secondary spark for your club.
Definitely. I think I told you this like multiple times this season. Every single guy that comes from the bench give us something different and something so good. And that's why we won it before the season was done, because they help us a lot. And I have to mention David Citron, what a pass. I've seen that a lot from him. And the background of him, having his ACL done, I just have to say congratulations to him, because that's a beautiful pass.
We didn't get a chance to talk to you at halftime, and I know this in a game that was back and forth like this, but what was it like to watch Julian Tovar with that bicycle kick goal to open the scoring tonight?
Definitely. Julian surprises us every single day, in training, in the games. And he shows us something different. When he had to step up, a goal is a goal, but that way it's even better.
Did this one have a playoff type atmosphere to it tonight?
I believe so. For us, we were not playing for anything. I know Cleveland was playing for something else, but to see so many people, we put a show on for them, and to see the guys that they acted good to the people is just lovely to see.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. If you could send us over, Julian, whenever you get a chance, for our man of the match. A 4-3 victory tonight, and there you have it, Jack. Dylan Sumner? Well, who better to talk to than the man that put this one away? Dylan, talk to me about this group tonight. Coach just called it a character win. What can you say about this ball club? First time all season you had trailed at home to come away with a victory and have the fight you did tonight.
Yeah, like you say, it's the first game where we were behind and we were chasing it a bit. We haven't had that in 11 games now, so it was a little bit of a shock to us. But like you say, this group's just great. We've had a lot of new lads coming in, a lot of lads, switching round, but we stuck at it, and it just shows again the character of the group is, it's very good. There's no wonder why we're having such a good season. You started the second half, and then we saw Citron as well as Connolly come in and Silva. What did the substitutions provide in terms of a spark here in the second half, especially after they took the lead? I think, like you say, a spark. We needed a little bit more intensity. It was a bit flat, a bit more of a friendly. They were running harder than us, and we needed to up the tempo big time. And then again, we go behind, we're chasing the game, and then that's just where the character came out again, to just keep sticking at it. We're under the cosh, but keep going for it, and we believe that we're going to win games, and that's what happened today. Take me through your goal. Obviously, it seemed like the lead was with Silva and Connolly, but you kind of came late. Just walk me through it. Yeah, I played with Alvaro Mercier, so we have a good relationship on the pitch. I knew exactly he's going to look inside and try and find a good option. I've managed to get up the pitch. Took a little bit of a heavy touch, but thought, just smack it. And smack it I did, and it turned out to be a good finish. So, I know this goal was the opening goal, but take me through the bench's reaction and your thought process when you see the bicycle from Julian. It was actually Jack. Was it Jack? It was Jack. Our centre back. No one knew who it was. We watched it on YouTube, and it was Jack, and Jack said, yeah, it was me. And I'm not surprised, because Jack just does some unbelievable things, even though he's a centre back. Yeah, it was Jack, but we could not believe what we seen. But yeah, spectacular. I was going to say, because you guys watched it, we watched it up there. It almost looked like synchronized swimmers. Yeah, we were like, we don't have no idea who's done that. It looked like both of them scored it, but we believe it was Jack apparently. So yeah, fair play to both of them for getting up there that high and getting that ball in the net. Awesome stuff. Well, Dylan, congratulations on the win. Go rest up. We'll see you next Friday for the regular season finale. Again, that game will be July 3rd right here at Saxon Stadium against Ambassadors FC Ohio for the regular season finale. A big night planned here, so make sure you get your tickets, eriecommodores.com. The final tonight, 4-3. The Erie Commodores improved to 10-1 on the season. For everyone, part of this broadcast crew, for my partner Jack Quinn, I'm John Lottie saying thank you so much for watching. Again, the Commodores victorious here tonight, 4-3. This was Erie Commodores Soccer, presented by LeCom.